I'm back again for the third time. Welcome everyone, and good afternoon to our afternoon session. This will be our last session for the conference. This afternoon, I have 13 presenters who will be presenting their paper. So we will start with Mr. Benjamin Limanto from ITS Surabaya will be presenting. The title of the presentation is Scenario of Improving Road User Safety in Surabaya, a System Thinking Approach. Mr. Benjamin, the Zoom floor is yours. Please start. Thank you.
Thank you. Could the share screen be given to me? The share screen still disabled here. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Today I will present our works that titled Scenario of Improving Road User Safety in Surabaya, a System Thinking Approach. This work conducted by 3 authors. I am S. Benjamin Limanto, second is Prof. Erma Suryani, and the third is Mr. Ruli Agus Hendrawan. All of us comes from ITS Surabaya. Okay, this is our short biography. As for myself, I am a postgraduate student of ISITS. My research focus in system dynamics in transportation livability. And second, for Prof. Erma Suryani, she is a professor in information system in ISITS. Her research focus are model-driven decision support system, system dynamics in SDG, intelligent transportation system, intelligent and social farming. And for Mr. Ruli Agus Hendrawan, he is a head of enterprise system labs in ISITS. His research focus are modeling and simulation, system dynamics, UI, UX, and human-computer interaction, and information system intelligent transport. So today we are facing a huge problem that also a big problem for any country in the world, that road accident is occupied as the 8th position, the cause of death for all ages in the world, based on WHO 2018 Road Safety Report. And this condition also occurred in Surabaya. Based on the data, this condition won't decreasing near future, with annual growth about 10 until 15% each year. And based on the condition, we try to model this problem to see all the factors and model it into causal loop diagram using system thinking approach. And the preliminary output of the model can be used as a base of thinking and developing a system dynamic simulation model. There are several later work that we conducted, we do with literature review, that most of them, of the past research, are still lacking in the depth, especially in with merging of intelligent transportation system. Take example for Chang in 2010, and Kumar and Umar Devi in 2011. They do conduct the same modeling approach, but they neglect the attention of intelligent transportation system. And in 2012, by Go and Love, they also try to model this condition in Singapore, but they only approach by the part of the vehicle safety star rate. So that condition doesn't represent wholly or fully in the real system, and they are not considering the external factor very well. This model also tried to be to grow to be better by Harrison in 2021, but the way to improve the model still lacking in terms of training for road driver and intelligent transportation system. The methodology that we use to conduct this research are taken from John Sterman and Erma Suryani. This methodology starts with problem articulation. So in problem articulation, we try to understand the system and to find what is the problem that exists in the system. Then, using the modeler perception, we try to gather all mental, written, and numerical data that are available for us as modeler. After seeing the problem, we define the specific question that we want to solve. After that, we try to make a model by creating a hypothesis and using system thinking approach based on the all data that are available. We create a causal loop diagram model with several variables that are quantified, and then we try to identify each loop that happen between those variables. After that, at the end of the draft model, we try to conduct a structure validation. In the structure validation, we try to validate the model to ensure the validity of the model, so the model will represent the real system by looking at several journals and several papers that are already available. At first, for the problem that we face, as we know, there are a lot of high traffic violation based on the data, and this high traffic violation led to high road accident rate, that increasing fatality rate in the road accident. And then this condition, based on the SDG and RNUK goals that need to be reached, seems still won't be reached soon, because based on the annual growth rate of the accident, it is not possible to going down. And we need to think to another way to reduce this condition. Based on the data, we create this subsystem causal loop diagram model. We identify about 3 balancing loop and 4 reinforcement loop. And we see that the needs of the transportation will increase the vehicle ownership that led to road accident, traffic violation, and number of fatalities. Then the road accident itself has an impact to the economy directly and indirectly. And there are also several things that we take into account. As example, the factors of the vehicle ownership. We try to create ways that with the vehicle inspection, it will decrease the old vehicle that caused the road accident, because the old vehicle that above 10 years is not sufficient or not allowed to be on the road. It should be, but the problem is in Surabaya, they are still roaming around. Yeah. And that caused the road accident. And then also, we take into account that for the past about 2 or 1 years, Surabaya government also start using intelligent transportation system that in help at hope that the condition will change. But that is also depends on the investment in traffic safety that done by the government. And then the driver training also the way that driver training is the way to improve the road safety. And other than that, we also take into account the road factors. With that, we see that there are several factors that involved in road accident, and there is a way to decrease the road accident rate. Based on the journal that we see before, there are a lot of involvement of middle and high schooler in Surabaya because of lack of public transportation. They use the motorcycle as a means to go to school, and that lead a lot of road accident and road traffic violation because most of them doesn't follow the rule in the road. And based on the past journal, past paper research that conducted by another researcher, we also see that traffic penalties we need to take into account, and the growth also involved in decreasing the traffic violation. When we reduce the traffic violation, it will reduce the road accident accordingly. And based on this and the past research, it is seen that if we twice the growth of the traffic penalties, it will decrease the violation about 10 until 12%. If above that, there are no benefit that will decrease the traffic violation. After that, we do a structure validation, and based on the structure validation, the model is valid and can be used a way to help the thinking to take a decision. And then the conclusion based on our research that the model, we can see there are various factors such as road condition, driving habits, and road violation that take into account that cause the road accident. And to overcome this problem, it is possible to implement a policy that focus on reducing bad habits by motorists by increasing the fines and training for the driver. Also, we take into account the intelligent transportation system. This model can be used for future research in developing a simulation model using system dynamic approach. That is all from me. Thank you.
Seems like we lost the voice again. Test.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So I open the floor for questions for Mr. Benjamin relating to his presentation. If anyone have questions, please feel free to type it in the chat box, and we can and Mr. Benjamin can answer that.
Yes, please, can I ask my brother?
Yes, you can, Dr. Khalid.
Thanks a lot. Firstly, I wish to submit my thanks to you, and I'm very pleasure, and it's my abroad. I be in this great conference. So please, I want to ask you about your presentation. It's very nice and very scientific work. So, but I need if someone want to understand your work. So, how can which books refer to or tell to me to read which books or which paper in order to understand your work, please? Which background can I read in order to understand your work?
Okay, that is a good question. For first, based on this approach for system thinking, you can start by reading John Sterman from MIT. That is called Business Dynamics. That books. It is published at the year 2000. Until now, it is still the standard book that used on the system thinking and system dynamics. Second, you can try to use the books from Professor Haynes also. Haynes. Jadi I will type it. Haynes. Because this field is very interesting because the model we try is not only based on the mathematical equation. It is also based on the stochastic approach. Yeah. Next, but for first, my work now is still on the way of thinking first, because this is a preliminary work for my thesis, like that. Yeah. Second, you can try to search for several works from Prof. Erma Suryani. You can follow her on the Google Scholar. Most of his journal are on Key 1 and Key 2 journal. You can see that she will expand. She expand a lot of research on this area, especially in intelligent transportation system. But for the road safety, I think is the first one that I work with her this time. Yeah, I hope that helped. Yeah.
Okay, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Nice to see you, Dr. Khalid.
Okay. Same to you. Same to you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Benjamin, for answering Dr. Khalid's question. If there is no other question, we'll move to the next presenter. The next presentation is from Danista Patil from the Ramrao Adik Institute of Technology in Mumbai. Okay, we do not have Danista, so we're going to move to the next presentation from Mr. Sumardi from Mulia University, Balikpapan. Okay, so we have Mr. Sumardi. So the title for the presentation is Improving Academic Creativity and Community Using Google Apps for Education to Construct a Virtual Team. Mr. Sumardi, please, the Zoom floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to share my presentation first. There is Miss Hartat Hardi. We are from Mulia University. We are from affiliate of Universitas Mulia University, which which work as lecturers and research with the leading research focus in intelligence system. During this pandemic condition, we continue to conduct the last research, namely how to increase academic and community creativity using a Google application for education to build virtual teams. Yeah, the background is mobile community, communication technology, internet-based, and Google application for support for education. As we know, one of the development of information and communication technology today is mobile technology. Through mobile technology, people can now enjoy various internet and service anytime, anywhere through their smartphones as one of the most significant information technology companies in the world. Google has internet services that is user can utilities. Their services are known as Google application. The university has excellent opportunity to take advantage of the Google application because Google provides full support to the work of education. Like in academic service, I can to be able to carry out of virtual communication with fast response, and Google application can one of the solution. Google provides solution for integrated communication with email, calendar, chat, Google Classroom, and solution for collaboration in learning and academic activity. Yeah, the trend of using gadgets and technology that continues to develop, provided sample space and life, good computing continues to make technology improve innovation to facilitate various jobs, all in aspect, one of which education. In the world of education, services in the academic section continue to be developed by its university. One of the Indonesian cloud service product that currently have a great benefit is the effectiveness conveyance of the education system. A Google application service, which one of Indonesian cloud service product, has various facilities that can be used by education participants to facilitate communication and information in educational institutions. Yeah, the objective, we see the first, to support the process to providing education in school. Yeah, we know that the pandemic is now, we need several applications to make the student to study with the school or all communication that are members of it. The third, to meet school needs, including being able to communicate quickly with fellow teams virtually. Yeah, the methodology. First time we identifying a relevant problem. Then the second, we understand the problem of the academic. The third, innovate how to build the solution area. The fourth, proposing that a virtual teams model. The validation of the solution. This is our methodology to make the research the paper. The academic activity we practical approach. First time we input from user, and then we continue to analyze user requests, and then we continue to identify intent and utility tasks, and then we compose reply, and after that we back to input from user again. Yeah. Creative community, we have several steps. First, stakeholder in and then we continue to set the service in product, and then we direct to three services according to the style, persona, and real world, guiding satisfactory and service. After that, we continue cycle by step one, and all of it is service quality of academic. Then of Google conference, Google has a good level of safety. I think that's all my presentation. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for Ms. Mita. I'll be back to Ms. Mita.
Thank you, Mr. Sumardi, for your presentation. We will open the floor for questions. If anyone have questions, please feel free to type it in the chat box or raise your hand. And yes, please. All right, if there's no question, let's move on to the next presentation, because we have quite a few presentations today. So I'd like to remind again for all the presenters that you have a maximum of 10 minutes each for the presentation, including the questions and answer. So the next one, I believe it will be delivered in the video format from Mr. Ivan Armawan from Mulia University, Balikpapan. The title of the presentation is Utilization of Social Media Application in Regency SMEs Performance. We will play the video shortly.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to presentation about my papers. The title of the research is Utilization of Social Media Application in Regency SMEs Performance. Author and co-author name, the first Ivan Armawan, the second Heri Pratikno, the third Sophia, and the fourth Sudar Madyatin. Quote name by Ivan Armawan. Biography, name Ivan Armawan, place date of birth Balikpapan on February 14, 1981, institution Mulia University, education Magister Management in marketing full focus, work in lecture in Mulia University, experience in marketing. Abstract. The decline in public buying interest has an impact on all business sector in Indonesia, including MSMS. During the COVID-19 pandemic, agency MSMS still use conventional system, so new breakthroughs are needed to increase turnover and unlimited marketing so that MSMS can survive and advance. Digital marketing activities are promotion and market search through online digital media, one of which is social network facilities. The purpose of this research is to broaden the knowledge and skill of digital marketing, especially social media in micro, small, and medium enterprise or MSMS to increase sales turnover. Participants are MSMS regency by one city. The method used in this activity is find digital marketing materials, share experience and discussion, and the implementation of social media application. The study indicates that the use of social media that is often used is Facebook in display business profile by 56.25% and WhatsApp by 50%, Instagram 18.75%, and others by 25% for product promotion. Based on the research result on the use of application in pandemic, that is right 12.5%, permanent 37.5%, and down 50%, MSM actors have not maximally used social network, especially YouTube, to promote their products. Introduction. MSMS are the most important economic actors in the Indonesian economic and have proven to be driving force and safety of the national economy in time of crisis and the dynamic of economic growth after the financial crisis. Indonesia has experienced the condition of COVID-19 pandemic for several months. The decline in public buying interest has an impact on all business sector in Indonesia, including MSMS. MSMS have a vital role in building the economy, one of which in Balikpapan. In the condition of the COVID-19 pandemic, many MSMS are still conventional in their marketing. So, breakthroughs are needed to increase turnover and unlimited marketing so that MSMS can survive and advance. Digital marketing is valuable for entrepreneurs to increase turnover when conditions are adjusted to their business activities. The problem that occur are usually novice MSMS don't understand how to start their business activities. Research method. Research methodology, the study uses a qualitative method approach by applying a triangulation model, namely collaboration, the method of observation, a structured interview, and in-depth interview atau in-depth interviewer, and two micro business actors. Data collection technique through direct observation and interview with information as primary data, while secondary data comes from literature studies, reference, journal, article, magazine, and in the internet. The sampling technique used by the research is purposive sample. Purposive sample is a sampling technique taking into account certain conditions. The subject of this research is the owner of goods and service business in Regency, totally 16 SMS. In graphic, social media used by Regency SMS, total in Facebook 9 SMS, WhatsApp 8 SMS, Instagram 3 SMS, Twitter 0 SMS, and others 4 SMS. In the graphic Regency SMS turnover, total permanent 6 SMS, write 2 SMS, and down 8 SMS. The conclusion, based on the research result on the use application in pandemic, that is right 12.5%, permanent 37.5%, and down 15%. It's generally in line with the study conducted by Sheikh Jamberi Ahmad, Abdul Rahim Abu Bakar, and Norita Ahmad in the journal titled Social Media Adoption and its Impact of the Firm Performance. That case of the UAE, the utilization of technology at Regency MSMS has not been maximized. However, the enthusiasm of MSMS actor is interest is use digital marketing and using social media optimally, but face several obstacles, such as a lack of understanding of information technology. Their knowledge of maximizing the YouTube platform WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, Marketplace is very lacking, making exciting and interest posts. Appendix, Figure 1, Internet and Social Media Trends, 2020 in Indonesia. Figure 1 shows that Indonesian total population or population reaches 272.1 million with access via mobile of 338.2 million, through the internet of 175.4 million, and through active social media of 160 million. Figure 2, Internet use. Figure 2 show that Internet use via cell phone reached 171 million with access via cell phone by 28% of the total use. 96% use cell phone for data transfer, 5.3% using feature of application on cell phone for data transfer, and after cell phone use per day of 4 hours at 14.5 minutes. Figure 3, electronic commerce activity. Figure 3 show that online product search activity make purpose by 23%, visit online store by 90%, order product online as much as 88%, make online order through laptops by 25%, and make online orders via handphone by 80%. Figure 4, social media platform. Figure 4 shows that the most widely used social media applications are YouTube, 28%, WhatsApp, 84%, Facebook, 82%, Instagram, 79%, and Twitter, 56%. That's all for me. Thank you for your attention. If I have been mistake, please forgive me. The last I say, all the best for the best in you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Pak Irfan, for your presentation, but I think Pak Irfan is not here with us today, so we will not be taking questions, but instead we will move on to the next presentation from Indonesia University, Mr. Tubagus Ahmad Marzuki. I'm not sure, I think you are here, Mr. Tubagus, but are you going to present your paper directly or by video?
I think I presented in here, not use video,
Okay,
because
right.
internet in here, so it's stable.
Okay, all right. Please, the Zoom floor is yours. Thank you.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. Let me introduce myself. My name is Tubagus Ahmad Marzuki. We'll present our research entitled Analysis of Government Regulation, sentiment regarding the Al-Fitr homecoming during COVID-19 pandemic in Indonesia using Twitter and Instagram data. Our research team consists of myself, Evelyn Kristiani, Indra Budi, Aris Budi Santosa, and Prabu Krasnaputra, and our from Universitas Indonesia. This is the outline for my presentation. Will be presented which consists of introduction, motivation, literature, methodology, result, and conclusion. So the background of this research is the habit of going home, which has become a culture during the Idul Fitri moment. But for the last 2 years, there has been a worldwide COVID-19 pandemic. The pandemic has changed many situations, including our habits so far, including going home for it. To prevent massive transmission of COVID-19 in 2021, the Indonesian government issue regulation banning going home. The regulation trigger various response from the public, including on social media. So we try to examine the sentiment analysis of the regulation to see the response from the public on social media. Is it positive or negative using Twitter and Instagram data? It is hope that the result of this sentiment analysis can be input for the Indonesian government in determining the best regulation regarding going home during the pandemic. In the previous year, the government also issued the same regulation and conducted sentiment analysis research using Twitter data. As a result, it was found that many people supported the regulation. And this year, we conducted a sentiment analysis research also on the homecoming ban. The difference is using Twitter and Instagram data. So why are we doing the same research this year? The trigger is the rules regarding permits to come to tourist attraction when the homecoming ban is enforced, which could be different from last year's and this year's sentiment analysis result. Then why do we use Twitter and Instagram data? Because Instagram and Twitter use the different characteristic of social media. Sometimes makes both of them have different users, and Instagram and Twitter are the top 5 among the most used social media platform. So the objective of our research are as follow: differences between this year and last year's sentiment analysis result of regulation regarding the prohibition against homecoming, and difference between the result of the sentiment analysis from Twitter and Instagram data. So we use 2 algorithms, the naive Bayes and decision tree. Why do we use naive Bayes and decision tree? Naive Bayes is algorithm generally provides competitive classification accuracy, and in the same study last year, naive Bayes got the best result in conducting sentiment analysis. Then why the decision tree? Because the classification of decision tree, it is done to improve the accuracy of prediction and minimizing the problem of tree overfitting. This is the methodology of this result, is data collection, reprocessing, classification model, and analysis of result. Okay, The scenario of the three annotators is that if there is a difference in the result of the labeling between annotators 1 and 2, the result of the labeling of annotator 3 will be determinant of the label. Example are presented in the following table. This is text, data Twitter on Instagram, annotator 1, annotator 2, annotator 3, and the result of the label. Okay, the pre-processing process in this result is case folding, convert uppercase letter to lowercase, non-alphanumeric remove punctuation, removal to remove stop words and words that are considered too general to have meaning for the sentiment classification process. So stem and stemming to convert its word into the basic form of the word, and tokenizing to split sentence into tokens or single word. And the result of the classification that have been carried out are the F1 score value for the negative class on Twitter data using the naive-based algorithm, 85.81%, and the decision tree algorithm getting a higher F1 score value, which is 87.93%, and in Instagram data, the F1 score value in the negative class using the naive-based algorithm is 89.96%, and the F1 score value in the decision tree algorithm is higher, which is 92.63%. From this result on Twitter and Instagram data, the decision tree algorithm is also superior. And the next table shows the sentiment result that Twitter and Instagram data, as well as on the two algorithms. The number shows negative response to the 2021 homecoming ban rules. We also try to use three scenario in this study. First, we don't use the post-tagger feature. Post-tagger feature is a way of categorizing word classes such as nouns, verb, adjective, and others. The second scenario, we use the post-tagger feature on all types of word, and the third, we use the post-tagger feature on some common types of words such as nouns, verb, and adjective. The results are in the following table. The result we present using decision tree because they get the best result when classification is carried out. The table consists of data features, positive and negative labels in which there are precision, recall, and F1 score result, as well as the average of positive and negative F1 score, which we write F1PN. In the Twitter data, the F1PN result obtained in the first scenario 54.84%. The second scenario is an increase to 55.28%. The third scenario is another increase to 57.68%. In Instagram data, the F1PN result obtained in the first scenario are 56.30%. And the second and third scenario get the same result, and there is a decrease in the value F1PN to 55.29%. A surprising result for us because there is a difference in result when using post-tagger. F1PN on Twitter data tends to go up, while on Instagram data tends to go down. We assume this is to the different characteristic of the two social media, but this is just an assumption. maybe this can be used as input for future research. Why there are difference in result on Twitter and Instagram data. The conclusion. The conclusion, last year's research conducted a focus analysis on Twitter data, stating that sentiment towards the homecoming ban is still positive. But in this study, turned out to find different sentiment result, the result being negative on Twitter data and Instagram data, and the decision tree algorithm is superior to Instagram and Twitter data. This is our reference. And thank you. All the best for all the best.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Tubagus, for your presentation. We will open, I think, just for one question. If anyone have any questions, please feel free to type it in the chat box. Okay, we have one question actually from Mr. Muhammad. What tools did you use for all of the sentiment analysis activity? Please, Mr. Tubagus, if you can please answer the question.
Okay, Mr. Muhammad Faisal, we use RapidMiner to process the classification model, and pre-processing process also use RapidMiner for tools-based research.
Mr. Muhammad Faisal, okay, that answers your question. Thank you very much. Next, we have another presenter from Indonesia University, Ms. Anela Prisdayanti. So after this presentation, I will also hand over the floor to my colleague moderator, Mr. Rizky. I think we can now. Do we have Ms. Anela on the floor? Okay, so the presentation will be delivered in video format. We will watch the video together. Thank you.
Dayanti Damanik. Now, I will present our research with the title Sentiment Analysis of Government Regulation regarding the implementation of reverse transcriptase polymerase chain reaction, or RT-PCR, during the COVID-19 pandemic in Indonesia, with the case study is air transportation mode. This research consists of me, Indra Budi, Arif Budi Santoso, and Prabu Kresna Putra. The outline of the presentation is 1. Introduction, 2. Literature, 3. Methodology, 4. Result, and the last is conclusion. The background of this research was initiated because cases of the spread of the coronavirus were increasing in Indonesia, forcing the government to take a policy to reduce cases of the spread of the coronavirus. And the policy taken by the Indonesian government is to enforce the enforcement of restriction on community activities, or in Indonesia, it's called emergency PPKM or PPKM darurat, and It will be enforced on July 3rd, 2021. During the emergency PPKM period, the government issued regulation on transportation to reduce community mobility. One of the areas affected by the regulation is air transportation. For air transportation, the government enforced a rule that passengers must have a negative certificate of RT-PCR test, whose samples are taken within a maximum period of 24 hours. This rule has been implemented since July 5, 2021. The rules imposed by the government reap many pros and cons from the community. Some agree and some disagree with the implementation of the PCR test as one of the requirements for using air transportation. Many people have expressed their opinion regarding the regulation through social media. One of the social media that is widely used by the public to express opinion is Twitter. Twitter is widely used as a medium for sharing information and reporting news. One of the things that can be done to find out public opinion about a policy can be done by conducting a sentiment analysis. Sentiment analysis is an activity carried out to analyze a person's opinion, assessment, or attitude toward a service, product, or issue. Sentiment analysis is good to apply because the analysis carried out based on the opinion and felt by someone. So, the purpose of this research is to know how the public sentiment regarding the PCR swab rule as one of the requirements for using the air transportation. In this study, we used two algorithms for the sentiment analysis is key nearest neighbor or KNN and random forest. Why we use KNN? Because KNN is an algorithm that is used to perform sentiment analysis. KNN is a classifier algorithm that performs object classification based on learning from the data close to the object. This method is also known to be simple and easy to implement. And why we use random forest? Because random forest is one of the popular and widely used ensemble methods because it's easy to learn and use even for the layman. In addition, random forest has also been widely applied in various fields such as remote sensing, quality rating analysis, and others. The methodology that we use in this research is CRISP-DM. Why we use CRISP-DM? Because CRISP-DM aims to make the data processing more reliable, more manageable, repeatable, and faster. There is 6 stages from the CRISP-DM methodology. There is business understanding, data preparation, modeling, evaluation, and deployment. And the result from the business understanding stage is we collect data from the Twitter using TweetPy library. The data taken is a tweet containing the query swab PCR pesawat and in Indonesia. And in data understanding stage, the data that we collect before are labeling. The labeling is done into 3 classes. It is positive, negative, and neutral. The amount of data collected is 395 data, with the distribution of data is 240 246 tweets with for the negative, 120 for the positive, and 29 for the neutral. This is the sample of the labeling data. All of data that we collected before was labeling into positive, negative, and neutral. And this is the result of data preparation. From the table, we can see that the data took several stages. The real data will go through cleaning stage, scaffolding, stemming, filtering, and tokenize. After data preparation, we do testing and evaluation. The data was split into data training and data testing. The process of dividing data is carried out using twofold cross-validation. From the table result of accuracy, we can see that KNN algorithm with the stratified sampling has the highest accuracy, with the accuracy is 75.63%, and it proves that stratified sampling is a good sampling technique to apply. And from the confusion matrix table, we can see that the highest precision and recall from the KNN are negative sentiment, with the precision is 76.40%, and recall is 89.18%. And from the deployment results, we result of the sentiment analysis. Based on the sentiment analysis process carried out with 20 volts, the KNN algorithm can recognize as many as 212 negative comments, 81 positive comments, and 5 neutral comments. The random forest algorithm can recognize 239 negative comments, 14 positive comments, and 0 neutral comments. And the conclusion from this research is KNN outperformed random forest with an accuracy value of 75.63%. The highest accuracy value, either KNN or random forest, was obtained using a stratified sampling technique, and a Q-false value is 20. This indicates that the data sampling technique affects the resulting accuracy value. And the last conclusion is the community had negative sentiment related to government policies that impose negative PCR swab rules within a period of 24 hours as one of the conditions for using air transportation modes. This is the presentation for me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the presentation from our sister, Anela Prisdayanti Damanik from University of Indonesia. But in this event, I will taking the moderator because our sister, my partner moderator, Mrs. Mita Prachna, have to go to the airport because he will back to Jakarta. So in this nice event, I will guide the the seminar event. So I think the proverb in English say that out of sight, out of mind. So I have to introduce myself before I handle this seminar international event. I am Rizky Zulkarnain Syamsul, but you can call me Mr. Rizky. I'm from Mulia University. So we will continue our seminar today. But in this session, maybe there is some question from our sister from the presentation from Anila Prisdayanti Damanik. Any question maybe? Okay, because our sister is not attend this place, so we will continue our presenter from our brother Khalid Al-Jizani from Mustanshirah University College of Science by the title An Efficient Semi-Analytic Technique for Solving Nonlinear Initial Value Problems. Mr. Khalid Al-Jizani, are you ready? Hello? Okay, Mr. Khalid, I think...
yes, brother, yes.
Okay,
I'm
good.
ready, yes.
Okay. Mr. Khalid, stage is yours.
Yes, I'm ready, inshallah. Yes. Just
كيف حالك يا
أزير share clear share my share is clear now.
كيف حالك؟
كيف حالك؟ الحمد لله الحمد لله الحمد لله. You speak Arabic?
كيف حالك مستر خالد الجزاني؟
الحمد لله الحمد لله.
ما شاء الله الحمد لله.
كيف حالك؟
This is the third paper you have signed in
yes.
in our international seminar of ICSINTESA. I think yesterday you sent two paper, you present two paper, and today's meeting I watch you again. So Sir Khalid, stage is yours.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much, brother. This is, yes, correct. This is my third paper. I am I'm glad to be in your conference. I'm in this in the same time. I am very grateful to you and your committee for the conference. At the same time, also I am abroad to be in this conference, and I participate in this conference. So thank you very much. It is my share clear now. Clear is clear appear my share. Okay.
Clear, Mr. Khalid. Okay, good.
Okay, so I will start. My work, a new technique of semi-analytic approach, alpha homotopy for obtaining the analytic solution to quadratic differential equations, theory and application. So the main idea for my work, I consider the homotopy analysis approach, which is a famous approximate method to find analytic solution for linear and strong nonlinear differential equations in many fields, science and engineering. So I have made some modification for this technique to improve the result and getting more accurate reasoning by adding an auxiliary parameter for this method. So this is main contribution for adding a new parameter and which I support this main contribution by many theorems for this purpose. So as we know in introduction, the authors introduce the work which is done before by many authors and researchers, as you see in introduction. And in shortly, I don't want to long time, please. So the traditional homotopy analytic approach, as we seen, as I shown now in this section, this is a traditional homotopy, famous, which is proposed in the first time by Liu, by scientist Chinese Liu in 1999. And you see, this is a traditional homotopy analysis approach. And I support my modification by this theorem, by Banach fixed point theorem for fixed point, and also this is in this section alpha homotopy technique for solving equation 1.1. I mean non-linear ordinary differential equation in quadratic form. So the main contribution, as I said now, I adding the alpha. This is a parameter make improve accurate solution much better and converge quickly and speedily to exact solution. And also I present this second theorem to support my work. And a third theorem also, I make by myself these theorems to support my works. This is a new theorem, new job. And I also present two examples in order to investigate my work and validation and the ability for my proposed method technique. So I consider the nonlinear equation with exact solution, and I have made the modification as I present now by adding the parameter which equal to, as you see, the small number, because this is a small number which give more an accurate solution. You can see in third and fourth line, as I point now, 0, 0. This is number power 2, 9, 15. Sorry, minus 15, and you can continue to see this is mean in our technique. This is accurate solution converge rapidly to exact solution, and this is line which is to be converge. I adjust this is by change value of H, which is in charge and control my problem and converge rapidly to exact solution. And also I make the sketch graph for these problems. You can see the blue color and red color represent to exact and approximate solution. You can see the two line matches. That means the result is very good. Okay, and I also consider second example to investigate my proposed technique. I consider this nonlinear with exact solution, and also apply my new technique. As we see in this line, absolute error for alpha homotopy, you can see this result, a great result, a great error very small and can say this result converge rapidly to exact solution. Okay, and also I sketch it examples by you can see these two figures. You can see a blue color, blue and red colors blue color represent the exact, and red color represent to approximate. You can see the two lines match together, and the error is very small, converge to 0. That is mean my result is very accuracy and very and proposed technique very validation and have ability compared with the standard method. This conclusion, as I talk now, my contribution is adding a new parameter to improve the accuracy for our solution, and I support this work by 4 theorems. I make it by myself in order to support this work, and I investigate this proposed technique by 2 examples, and I get a more accurate solution and more accurate result and compared than a standard method for the homotopy analysis technique. Thank you again, and thank you for all committee, and I'm very grateful. So if any question, I'm ready, please.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Khalid, for the great presentations. And now we will move to the question and answer sessions. For the question is from our brother, Mr. Heru Puspanugroho. The question is, are the method you use is there a problem calculating the value? Okay. The question you can see on the chat room, Mr. Khalid. Okay, Mr. Khalid,
yes.
Could you answer the question,
yes,
please?
Yes, yes. I asked for Mr. Khalid the method use their problem applicating value. Yes.
Okay, stage is yours.
Yeah, yes, yes. I thank you very much for this question. I use the software, mathematical software, to get for calculating the value, and also I can use also Maker and MATLAB. But in this technique, I use the mathematical software for my calculating to get the value.
Khalid?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Heru, are you satisfied about the answer from our brother?
Enough, sir. Thank you. Assalamualaikum, Mr. Khalid.
Assalamualaikum, brother. I'm very glad to talk with you. How are you?
I'm fine, good. And how are you, sir?
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. I'm very glad to be in the middle of my family, second family and second home. I'm very like Indonesia people and Malaysia people because previously 2 years ago I am studying my PhD in Malaysia, and I visit Thailand and visit many countries in Asia. So I like too much Indonesia people, and I respect the Indonesia people and Malaysia people too much. Alhamdulillah. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
Thank you, Mr. Khalid and Mr. Heru. And now we will move to the next paper. This is from our brother, Muhammad Faisal Mazidinianto. Are you attend in this international seminar event?
Yes, I am here.
Okay, Mr. Muhammad Faisal Mazidnianto from University of Indonesia. By the title is Abortion Drug Products Classification Using Text Mining. This is a case study of PTXEAZ. XEAZY, okay. Okay, Mr. Muhammad Faisal, stage is yours.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Muhammad Faisal Mazidnianto. You can call me Faisal. And now I'm going to explain my research about abortion drug products classification using text mining, a case study of PTXYZ. Actually, to do this research, I work with my team. Those are Anela Prisdayanti Damanik, Indra Budi, Aris Budi Santoso, and also Prabu Kresna Putra. This is the outline of the presentation. Start from introduction, literature study, methodology, discussion, and result, and also the conclusion. From the one of the popular news application in Indonesia, there is a news about into 2015, Ministry of Communication and Information Technology in Indonesia closed around 300 websites which sell the abortion drug products, and also closed around 96 websites that sell the abortion drug products in 2017 to 2019. Actually, closing the websites based on the Indonesia Criminal Code Law in Article 349. The point of Indonesia Criminal Code Law in Article 349 is that everyone who helps someone to do the abortion will get the penalty. So, that website that sell the abortion drug product means that the website helps someone to do the abortion. So the website will be blocked by Ministry of Communication and Information Technology. Because of that, PTXYZ as one of the e-commerce in Indonesia try to build system to prevent the seller to sell the abortion drug products, which is the pending system. The pending system itself tries to detect the abortion drug products by matching the product title with the keyword that had been gathered and used in the pending system. Actually, to get this information, I do interview to the representative of the risk management team. And after the interview, about 1 to 2 weeks after the interview, I do observation about is there any abortion drug product that is still circulating in PTXYZ application since the PTXYZ has the pending system. And it turns out that I got around 100 abortion drug products that was still circulating in the apps. As you can see in the image, I got around abortion drug product that had been created in 2 days, 3 days, 1 week, even 2 weeks before I do the observation. It shows that pending system is not capable enough to handle the abortion drug product, so that the risk management team do the manual sweeping to cover all of the abortion drug product that had passed the pending system by using manual query directly to the database. And then I'm curious about why is it happen. And the representative of risk management team said that seller always try to manipulate the product title, so the pending system cannot reach that. The simple example is there is a drug that is misused for abortion, which is the cytotec. Sometimes seller create product title with cy, des, to, des, tec, even using K instead of C. So that through this research, I want to build model that can classify the abortion drug products, not only based on the product title like the pending system, but also use pattern of any other parameter such as product description and price. For the methodology, I'm using the CRISP-DM, stands for Cross-Industry Standard Process for Data Mining, which state that data mining consists of several steps. Those are business understanding, it is about understanding goals from business perspective. And then data understanding, it is about data collection, identify something from the data that can support the goal. And then the data preparation, it is about the data cleaning, data transformation, and data reduction. And then modeling, it is about choose the technique and build the model by using technique that had been chosen before. And then evaluation, it is about evaluate the performance of the model. And the last is deployment. It is about conclude the evaluation result, also to decide what is the best model for this study case and get the important information from all of the previous activity. For this research, I use around 10,105, which is contain 5,007 for abortion drug products and 5,098 for non-abortion drug products. For processing, I do transforming case to the lower case, data cleaning to remove URL, symbol, number, emoji, etc. And then the tokenizing to split the sentence into array of words. And then I do stop word removal, and then I do stemming to convert the word into its root word. And then other than text, as a feature to build the model, I want to use a price feature to this research so that I do observation for price of the abortion drug products. As you can see in the left image, I was creating the box plot to know the range of the abortion drug product price with remove the outlier. It turns out that the maximum range of the abortion drug product is 2 million rupiah. So that I normalize the price into 5 categories as mentioned in the table. Next, to build the model, I use some of the text mining technique that is obtained from the previous research. Those are, I use naive-Bayes, which use the probability calculation, and SVM algorithm that aims to obtain a hyperplane that separates data by maximizing the distance between the positive class and the negative class. And then I use the FIDF for feature selection. And to form the training and testing dataset, I use k-fold cross-validation by using 10 for the k. For the evaluation, I compare model that used the price feature and the model that didn't use the price feature. It turns out that by adding the price feature will increase the performance of the model, even though it didn't give the significant score, but we need to try to build model which has false positive and false negative as minimum as possible. For the deployment, because this is in this study case, value of false positive and false negative have the same importance. I only see the accuracy F and F1 score because both of them involve the false positive and false negative in the calculation. So that naive-Bayes with price feature will be the best model because it has the highest score of accuracy and F1 score, which has around 99.34%. And last, for the conclusion, the study built a classification model for detecting abortion drug products at beta XYZ, not only based on the product title, but also the pattern of the product description and price. Through this research, it was found that the naive-Bayes using the price feature produced the best result, which has accuracy and F1 score value around 99.34%. And then for the suggestion from this research are using larger data to reach a wider variety of product data and using several other classification algorithms in building a model for comparison and consider k-fold cross-validation with different number of k. I think that's all from me. Thanks for your attention. Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, thank you, Mr. Muhammad Faisal. And now we will move to the question and answer sessions. Just only one question, sorry. The question is from our brother, from Evelyn Christiani. The question is, how you do the labeling sufficiently. Who are the annotator and what scenario do you do? The question you can see on the chat room, Mr. Muhammad.
Okay, I can see that.
Okay.
Okay. The answer is actually I got the Aborsendak product data from the database that is labeled by the risk management team from PT XYZ. And for the non-Aborsendak product, I got the data also from the database that consists of so many shops in PT XYZ. But to make sure that all of the data is non-Aborsendak product, I use a product from the special type of the shop that each of the shop have a dedicated consultant from PT XYZ. And as a consultant, one of the tasks is to ensure that all of the product of the shop are not violated product based on term and condition in PT XYZ. Yeah, I think that's all for the answer.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Muhammad. Miss Evelyn, are you agree or have any addition about the answer?
Yes. Assalamualaikum.
Ya, waalaikum salam. Mr. Khalid?
Yes, Mr. Thank you very much.
Question?
May I ask you, my brother Faisal, please?
Okay.
How are you? Assalamu alaikum, Mr. Faisal, inshallah.
Waalaikumsalam.
Your
I'm
family
good.
fine, inshallah. Thank you very much and for your presentation. So, may I ask you about the main contribution for you to build the module, correct?
Oh, okay.
So if I want to develop this work I take the large data, correct?
Yes.
So if I take the large data, so can I get the novelty in this work, or I will get same your result, or what, please? If I take the large, okay.
Oh, okay.
Can I get the novelty in this work, or not? No, or cannot get the novelty in this work when I take the large data, please.
Oh, okay. I got the question, and I think the larger data we will get the variety of the data, and also we get the different pattern of data. So I think when the times goes by to do the implementation to create the model, I think it will get different pattern maybe.
Yes,
or maybe
correct.
the unique information from the data. Yeah, I think.
Yes, I confirm I will get different pattern. Yes, correct.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Thank you
very much. Thank you again. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Mr. Muhammad and Mr. Khalid, and also thank you to Miss Evelyn Christiani. And now we will move to the next presentations from our brother, the hosting from Mulia University, Indonesia. Our brother, Fidi, are you ready in today's presentation?
Okay.
Okay, good. Mr. Fidi from Mulia University as the hosting of our seminar, international seminar of ICSINTESA today by the title, The Use of E-Learning to Increase the Students' Innovation in Technopreneurship. Mr. Fidi, stage is yours.
Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. I will present a paper with the title, The Use of Learning to Incite Study and Innovation in Technopreneurship. The other, YFCD, Riki Hardi, Yamani, and Wayunur Alimya Ningtyas. Biography. We are from affiliated of University Mulia, which works of a lecturer and researcher with the leading research focus on information system and science. During the pandemic COVID-19 condition, we continue to conduct the last research, namely how to use learning to inspire student innovation in technopreneurship. Background. Still a state of the COVID-19 pandemic. The education process must continue throughout alone learning activity. Even in difficult conditions, innovation must still be carried out. In the learning process, ideally, there is a direct interaction between student, lecturer, and the media or learning equipment that is carried out. The COVID-19 virus outbreak that threat the world change of patterns and culture in social interaction, threat, learning, and work process. This condition must be resolved immediately by applying various ways and replace the outgoing learning process. UNICEF, WHO, and IFRC in the COVID-19 Prevention and Control in School said that when the virus spreads faster, the strategy taken in the school must be closed. The education process must continue through online learning activities use variant learning media. UNESCO data 2020 that's that 1.5 billion students and 93 million lecturers in the primary to secondary school level in 191 countries affected by the COVID-19 pandemic must change something that has never happened before. Introduction. A learning operation as a format of delivering learning materials through electronic media that can be accessed using computer and smartphone. The flexibility of a learning allows students to study anywhere. A learning can be distributed and ensure learning materials are delivered directly to students. Of this, the prepared quality university graduates who have good competence, innovation, and competence, and can be used profile for living and society by way of entrepreneurship. Scope identifies learning and technopreneurship. This scope, among other, ada potential and problem, literature and collection of data, the science study model technopreneurship, validation of the model design, design, making learning, technopreneurship model, trial limited learning model technopreneurship, revision learning model technopreneurship, testing learning model technopreneurship, reflexive learning model technopreneurship, and dash 5. This methodnya it is student using relatively developable learning model technopreneurship. Okay, this model learning is student and innovation, student and learning strategy, innovation action and strategy, and technopreneurship. Okay, conclusion. The positive impact of the application of ICT, especially of learning in the learning process and of more flexible learning opportunities without being brought by space and time, making it easier for people to access education, increasing learning materials, animate the learning process, make the learning process more open, increasing the effectiveness of learning, and supporting students to learn independently, so that technology innovation product, even in a pandemic condition, can still be carried out of more effective and flexible. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Philly, for the nice presentations. Okay, because our time is up for 10 minutes, I will continue for the next presenter. For Mr. Yusuf Wibisono, are you ready? Mr. Yusuf Wibisono?
Yes, Mr. Rizky, can you
Okay.
hear my voice?
Okay, good, clear. Okay, in this sessions, I will deliver the seminar just 10 minutes. I will inform to all participants, just 10 minutes I will give you time. So please make it clear your presentations before the time. So to make the time efficient, I will invite Mr. Yusuf Wibisono from Mulia University, and the paper is Design of Google Application Based Help Desk Ticketing System at University using Extreme Programming Approach. Mr. Yusuf Wibisono, stage is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Rizky. I will try to make my presentation so effective. Okay. Good afternoon. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Can you all see my slide? Mr. Rizky?
I can see, sir.
Yes,
Let's
okay.
continue.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. The title of my presentation is Design of Google Apps-Based Help Desk Ticketing System at University using Extreme Programming Approach. My team is me, Yusuf Wibisono, and Mada Aditya Wardana, and also Wisnu Hera Pamungkas. It is our biography. We are lecturers in Mulia University and also PhD student, me and Mr. Wisnu in University Malaysia Sarawak, and Mr. Mada Aditya Wardana in University of 17 August 45 Surabaya. This is the abstract. Academic services require supporting devices that are always ready, both hardware and software and networks. However, the device may be experiencing problems. Fast problem solving is needed so that academic activities continue to run well. The problem is that the asset data is not integrated with the help desk. The difficulty of prioritizing work, and there is no previous troubleshoot recording as reference material. The extreme programming approach is used to make the development process more efficient with iteration carried out at each stage. The SWOT analysis and value chain analysis help identify the requirements correctly. Using Google Apps as a development tool for the help desk ticketing system proved to be more efficient as there is no need to invest in server hardware for processing and storage. Google Apps script is also reliable enough to complete various process designed in the system. Implementation of Google Apps is also easier because users are familiar with Google Form and Google Sheets interface. With a good help desk ticketing system process, the implementation of academic services is also run well. Introduction. The implementation of academic service require the support of software, hardware, and computer networks. In daily operation, each supporting device can experience problem. Any problems that arise needs to be addressed immediately so that academic services activities run well. However, several problems can arise simultaneously, and it is not easy to solve them at one time. Problems that arise may have happened before, and technicians rely on their memory of solutions that have been done because there is no good documentation. Users need to know the progress of the completion of the report. Problem statement. Device asset data is not integrated with the help desk section, and technicians should always check device specification. Technicians find it challenging to prioritize when multiple devices are having problem at the same time. Since there is no documented troubleshooting, technicians are still often looking for solution to the same problem in the past. This is our literature review. We try to use up to date, not more than 3 years back. Okay, I will explain about the methodology. We divide into 2 parts. The first is analyze existing system and then develop new system. To analyze existing system, we conduct the first interview to users, technician, and also help desk officer, and also we make observation. For the information getting from interview and observation, we conducting the SWOT analysis to know about the strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and also threats. After this, we try to design new systems, starting to make the value chain analysis to know what is the main goal for the system. And then to development the application, we use the method of extreme programming. This is the extreme programming model. Extreme programming consists of 4 stages, start from planning, design, coding, and testing. And the advantage or feature of extreme programming is in every stage we can do the iteration. So this model is suitable, useful if the user maybe change their requirement, their needs. It's no problem. User have not wait for the full model to test. Every single module already test and user accepted, that user directly can use this small module. Okay, this is a Google Apps, Google Apps script. I think we are familiar with the Google tools. In Google Apps, the only infrastructure cost is an internet connection. If we have internet connections, we can use the Google. No need to provide an internal server because Google have a cloud system, cloud server, cloud services. So no need to provide an internal server. Google Apps Scripts is also a simple programming, but effective development tools. This is the result of SWOT analysis. The strength is the university has sufficient IT equipment asset in providing academic services. The skill of the technician team to troubleshoot is quite good. The weaknesses is the number of technicians is still lagging, does not have a hardware asset database, does not have an information system for the help desk, as does not have a database of previous troubleshoot. The opportunities, development of technology and the internet make it easier to do troubleshoot. The emergence of practical tools such as Google Apps that facilitate programming, for simple programming I mean. The threat is technological development will have an impact on increasing the number of devices that institution will own. Competitor will also develop their academic service supported by the availability of an effective help desk system. This is the value chain analysis. You can see in the bottom of this model is the main activity starting from opening ticket by user, and then help desk officer make assignment, problem solving, and assessment by user. In the top, these are supporting activities: asset procurement, data asset management, user management, also notification system. And the goal of the system is best services. Best services mean fast and quality solution. This is the conceptual ERD, enterprise resource, entity relationship diagram. We make 5 entities: employee, device, ticket, problem, and solving books. Employee will manage by HR department, and device will be managed by set department. User may check the progress based on ticket ID. User make a ticket and can check the progress of the ticket anytime. Solving will be faster by checking for the same symptoms that have occurred. For any case, will be saved in solving book, and then will become a reference by a technician to check if the same problem can solve faster. This is the use case diagram. We can see the actors who involved in the system: asset officer to maintenance data asset, and user can create ticket and see the solving process and make assessment for the result. Every officer can see the ticket and make assignment to the technician solving process and read the assessment from users. This is the activity diagram. We can see user open ticket, and then help desk officer will make assign to technician. From this assignment, technician will process the ticket and then make troubleshoot report. Troubleshoot report will send automatically to user, and user from this will make assessment. Maintain the data asset. This is the final design for Google Apps implementation model. User in the left side create ticket. For create ticket, we use Google Form and apps script. Then make assessment after the problem solved and receive email by Gmail. Assessment, Google Form, and app script. Help desk officer, the first process ticket assignment using Google Form and also app script, and auto send email to user and technician about the progress and receive email. Asset officer maintain data asset, Google Form and app script. Technician doing troubleshooting and update to solving book, create report, auto send email, receive email. All the process solving by Google Apps. Okay, this is the last slide, the conclusion. Although Google Apps is not as comprehensive as programming language, it effectively solves simple needs. Implementation of Google Apps will also reduce investment for universities because server hardware is not required. This study shows the effective implementation of Google Apps in constructing an efficient help desk ticketing system. Problems identified, namely the non-integration of asset data with the help desk, work priorities, and previous troubleshoot reference can be solved by implementing Google Apps. Making solving book tables with Google Sheet is very efficient because technician can quickly assess previous troubleshoot with similar case. It is the reference, and that's all from me, Pak Rizky. Thank you. I'm back to you.
Thank you, Pak Mr. Yusuf Wibisono. And now we will move to the question and answer sessions. Maybe there are participants have a question for our brother presentations. Okay, this is one question from our brother, Mr. Wibisono. This is from Mr. Benjamin. As you can see on the slide, on the chat room, sorry. Based on your research and understanding, is there anything different when you use monoliths applications model versus the scripting model using extreme programming? And is there any problem when you face when work side by side with the stockholder when try to exercise this method on your unit? Is there any rejection or such? Okay, Mr.
Okay,
Yusuf
thank you.
Wibisono.
Yes, I can see Mr. Benjamin Limanto question. Thank you, Mr. Benjamin. Good question. I think the first, yes, if we use a standard model like maybe prototyping or waterfall or the other model, maybe it's will different with extreme programming. Extreme programming is for me, in my opinion, is the good decision for this case because with this method, extreme programming, the programmer and also the user will feel free to design and deal with the program, because extreme programming is it's okay if sometimes suddenly user change the need. User change the requirement. It's okay. The iteration can be conducted in any stage, yeah? Any stage. So that is the different for extreme programming. I think for the case, because this is the small program and need to fast product, I think the extreme programming is a best model for this case. And now in process, Mr. Benjamin Limanto in process, and I believe that this idea will make happy the participants. Thank you.
Yusuf Wibisono. Mr.
Yes.
Benjamin, are you okay? Mr. Benjamin said that. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Mr. Yusuf Wibisono. And I think time is up for question and answer for our brother.
Still one
Mr.
question, Pak Rizky, I think, from Mr. Goldi Gunadi.
Do you want
Simple
to answer?
Question.
Okay, the question
Okay,
is,
yeah.
how do you implement the database and the relationship between the tables on Google application?
Yes, I can see the question from Mr. Goldi Gunadi. That's a very good question. Okay, yes, very different between database and Google Sheet, but all of the design of ARD, entity relationship diagram, we can implement in Google Sheet. How about the method to keep the relationship? We do in this script. That is because that's not natural database, not natural table. So we have to make and keep the relationship by script. I think this is Mr. Goldi Gunadi. So we implement all the design of ARD into Google Sheet, and then keep the relationship primary key, foreign key by doing in Google Apps Script.
No, Mr. Gunadi, are you agree about the answer? Or any addition maybe? Or suggestion? Okay, good. Okay, thank you, Mr. Wibisono, for the presentations.
Okay, you're welcome.
Okay, for the next presentations will be delivered from our brother from India, Mr. Jasan Sprit. Are you ready, Mr. Jasan Sprit? Are you staying here? Not? Okay. And now we will move to the next presentations. The presentations will be delivered from our brother from Malaysia, Mr. Yuli Asbar. Mr. Yuli Asbar, are you attend the meeting? Hello, Mr. Yuli. Are you attend the meeting? Not? Okay, we will skip. We will skip for the next presentations. Will be delivered from our brother from Brunei Darussalam. our brother from Brunei, from University Technology Brunei, Mr. Sahid Anjum and Zahida Ismail. Are you attend the meeting?
Yes, I'm here, but can you give me, is there any other presenter who can fill the gap?
Okay,
I will
thank
be the
you.
next presenter. I have 2 papers and I'll present both papers simultaneously. Yeah, thank you.
Do you have
One
2 papers? Okay, good.
Sorry? Yeah, I'll do that, but is there
Mr.
any
Sahid?
other one who can fill the gap? You have a little busyness, right?
Okay,
is it
good.
okay if I'm the next presenter?
Okay, Mr. Sahid from University Technology Brunei Darussalam by the title Employee Monitoring Productivity, Privacy and...
Can I request, excuse me, moderator, can I request another presenter before me, one more presenter?
Okay. Okay.
Is it possible?
We will skip.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Then after one presenter, I'll present my paper.
Okay, good. Thank you, Mr. Sahid.
I
We will
appreciate.
skip
Thank
of
you
you.
so much.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sahid. The next presentation will be delivered for our brother from Politeknik Negeri Jakarta, Mr. Agus Wagiana. Are you attend the meeting? Mr. Agus? No? Okay, we will move to the next paper from IKPIA Parbanas Jakarta, Mr. Banisar. Are you attending the meeting, Mr. Banisar? Hello? Skip? Okay, I think Mr. Sahid. Hello, Mr. Sahid. Hello?
Yes, it's okay. I can present. It's okay. Okay. So put my ASEAN paper first. I'll go with that paper first. And then second paper. Sorry. Can you put my ASEAN paper, forward paper first, please?
Sorry, Mr. Sahid?
Can you put my, I have 2 papers to present today. Can you put my paper which is titled COVID? First paper. I'll present that first, the COVID one.
I think there is no paper again to will be present of our today. This is your paper is the last.
No, there are 2 papers I have to present. So what I'm saying is that can I present my, I have 2 papers to present. One paper is with Zahida Ismail, another paper is with Shahida Sharin. So what I'm saying is, can you put my paper which is with Shahida Sharin first presentation?
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. And then Zahida Ismail's one I'll present as a second paper. Okay?
Okay, good.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm ready to present. No worries. I'm okay. I can present right now.
Rizky. Mr. Rizky.
Now, for the
yeah,
next.
I can present now.
You can you can present now.
Yeah, it's okay. No problem.
Okay.
Yeah, I can present.
Okay, Mr. Sahid. From University Technology of Brunei Darussalam by the title Employee Monitoring, Productivity, Privacy.
No, the other one first. Business impact of
COVID-19
digital technologies and support for that one I will go for first. Please.
Okay. Time is yours.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate that. And good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I think it was a little longer, you know, like a day for you guys because there were so many good papers to present here. I'll share my screen first so that I can start presenting. Yeah, okay. So before I move, this is the title of my paper, and it's about the business impact of digital technologies and support for financing, education, and infrastructure solutions. COVID-19 response in ASEAN and Brunei. So this is a joint paper by me and another author is Ms. Shahida Sharin. And we both belong from University of Technology, Brunei. This is my profile here. That is just a brief introduction. I'm just following the pattern of the, PowerPoint slides, which was sent by the conference coordinators. Thank you. So this is my profile. Currently, I'm working as, I'm assigned the duty as a Deputy Director of Digital and Creativity Research Trust at School of Computing and Informatics. Also, I'm a Senior Assistant Professor at School of Business, and my PhD is in Japan with data mining applications in financial risk and early warning systems. And I studied in the computer science master's program in US, Michigan, from the Department of Mathematics and Computer Science. And I'm also a certified data privacy solutions engineer from ISACA, US, member of Blockchain Council, and I do the workshops on blockchains as well, and a certified investment manager, and also I have the certificate from the Association of Risk Professionals from US. This is my WhatsApp. If someone wants to, collaborate, and this is the UTB website, my profile there. Shahida Sharin, she just graduated, is graduating from Master of Management and Technology. She got the job at Ministry of Finance, Brunei Dar es Salaam, and she'll be joining there. Now, these are the contents: the introduction, objective, methodology, data analysis, results and findings, conclusion. I'll go a bit quick because, time is short and I just want to save everyone's time. Considering the recommendation by the coordinators, again, put some, diagrams to make the presentation more pleasant. As we all know, there are 10 countries in the ASEAN region right now, and they are Brunei, Thailand, Myanmar, Laos, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Cambodia, Singapore, Vietnam, and I got this from the ASEAN website. So the order of the countries is based on the ASEAN website. Introduction. In ASEAN, SMEs are very important. Actually, they are contributing 90% to the employment, 60% to the GDP, which is gross domestic product in ASEAN countries, and that is as per 2019 study by Soon and Chan. Now, this is the presentation of that. 99% business establishments in ASEAN, they are small and medium enterprises. 90% contribution to employment, 60% to the GDP. And the pandemic, as we all know, that either creates a challenge or the opportunities for businesses to improve their business processes by transforming their business, and as to improve their business processes and their business model or implement new technology. So basically, it's a pressure on small and medium businesses as well to move towards the technology adoption. Of course, the world was lagging behind in technology adoption. So I think this gives an opportunity to all the businesses as well as individuals to adopt to the IT technology. And if SMEs wanted to boost their performance, they should engage in the digital transformation. Again, it's a reference from Soon and Chuan study in 2019. Now, deployment of the digital technologies ensure that business continuity and just one second, I just want to resize it. I think it's going out of. Okay. Yeah, okay. So, deployment of digital technologies ensure the business business continuity, because many businesses, they are going bankrupt. Right now, it's the lockdown in many countries are, it has been locked down. Small and medium businesses, they were the most, mostly hurt. Many went out of business as well. So in order to increase the resilience of the small and medium businesses, they need to adapt to the digital technologies. And implementation of the digital technology also comes with high rate of failed results, because there are insufficient digital skills, such as data scientists and social marketers. They've become one of the majority challenge in digital adoption, especially in the ASEAN countries. And that is what leads us to this particular study. This is we gather some data about the digitalization support from the government, especially in the human resources training. So online, training, Brunei had that with the check mark, they have it. Laos only, and Singapore couldn't find. I think their population is very literate already, so that's why we couldn't find that. Some of the and Laos, of course, is little lagging behind in digital adoption as well. Other than that, for Indonesia, Malaysia, Brunei, Malaysia has we couldn't find the training as well for the Malaysian case. But this gives us the detail of Brunei. They have the online classes, and then Cambodia also have some sort of for female startups to flourish. So they have the educational programs. Indonesia also have a pilot online classes for least developed areas. That is coming from the study by Sakudo in 2021 and 2020 OECD studies as well, because they are also providing trainings in cloud computing, programming, and development, which is very awesome. Laos data doesn't exist. Online entrepreneurial program platform is from Malaysia. Training courses from Myanmar also there, and then there are training courses specifically. We can all insert these slides. I'll share my slides later on with the coordinator. And these are the from countries from Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam, covering all those ASEAN countries. So moving forward, the objective of the study is to identify the current influences of digital transformation, especially in the Brunei MSMEs, because we were able to collect the data only for Brunei SMEs, and if some other country wants to participate in the similar study, we can share our questionnaire, and other ASEAN countries, any participant from other ASEAN countries who is attending this conference, this forum, this session, can reach out to me. And we want to identify that types of investments made in Brunei Darussalam. What are the drivers of digital transformation, especially particular focus on digital training. Challenges faced by the digital transformation process. Moving forward, this is a little bit about the Brunei. These are the scenes. This is our water village, flags of Brunei on the event of Brunei's Independence Day. Methodology for this research is a quantitative research. We have online survey, 101 respondents from SMEs, and we adopted SEM, which is structural equation modeling using the partial least square with the help of Danko software. About our type of industry that we have covered, almost others are 45%, but majority is from food and accommodation, and then 12% is from wholesale and retail, education 10%, agriculture 7% of it. Type of business, micro enterprises, small and medium. So majority were micro, 63%, and then there were 22% small, medium were 13.9%. This is briefly our model. We have the limited, we have took the, these are the dimensions which are different: sales, salaries, finance, procurement, delivery, and then these are the types of investments in fintech, payments, because payment is one of the main thing in digital payments, digital sales and digital marketing, organizational process, and we want to look at the support from the government, especially in the education sector, and how it has, helped the business expansion, customer engagement, and improve the business processes. And of course, the capabilities of the internal as well as external, they played a role in the demand for the education facilities provided by the government. These are our results, and I think I need to bring this down. So these are all results, and as we can see over here, this is the limited internal capabilities LIC, and this is the LEC, limited external capabilities. So what is the hypothesis? That these two, they create a demand for the digital education. As we can see that the R-square is 0.487, which is quite sufficient for the survey data. 0.58 is limited. Internal capabilities, demand influence, and 0.139 is the beta for the external capabilities. Then this education, once it's provided, it affects, digital marketing. It also affects the digital, the DSS, which is our this one, digital sales and services. And then we have found that this CE, which is our from here we can see that CE is our customer engagement, which has a huge impact on these two dimensions, which are our digital sales and fintech. And this is the DM is our digital marketing and organizational process is the OP. Now, as we can see that the R-square is quite sufficient, and it's very all significant. They are influencing positively to all these dimensions, which are the types of investment. So types of investment, different types of investments, if the education is provided by the government. And also there is other influences on these investments, which are from CE and IBP and BE, which are B is business expansion, the drivers of transformation. If they have the thirst to expand their business, customer engagement, or improve their business processes. So they are also, these are contributing factors to these investments. So what we have found is that the substantially the digital education has contributed to increase the investments in the investments, particularly in digital technologies. And as we can see, convex alpha, it's almost significant everywhere except this one, which is FTP financial technology, which is digital payments. So that is a little below 0.7. Otherwise, all are more than. So it tells us that there is a reliability now, and all the AVE factors also, which tells us about the convergent validity. There also looks good. And structural model, there are education to FTP. We can see that the direct effect is quite good. Education to the DSS, which is our the digital sales and services, that's also quite so good. And then the education to the DM, which is our digital marketing, also looks good. And education to the operational, this organization processes also looks good. And yeah, and then internal, limited capacity also affects the education demand, and external capabilities, limited external capabilities, more, they are limited than SMEs, the demand for the digital education. Okay, so PC is the path coefficient, and beta is, this is the beta of that. Now, findings. Digital education provides a measure to promote digitization in SMEs and plays a key role in explaining the amount of investment made by the SMEs towards the sustainability through these pandemic years. Also, digital education provides the measure to promote digital educations. No, this is the teaching, I think. Yeah, so this one is investment related. Main categories are digital payment, which is fintech, DSS, digital sales and security, organization processes, re-engineering and digital marketing. And limited internal capabilities and external capabilities, they generate a use case for the this education demand. Implications for managers and policy makers, emphasis the importance of adoption of digital technologies. This study also discussed about the environment that attracts high levels of digital activities through the investment and also receiving the regulatory and attract digital transformation among SMEs, especially in ASEAN. And as we have seen in Brunei Darussalam, digital education plays an important role in the digital investments. Then limited the opportunities. I think this is also redundant. So thank you. This is my presentation of the first paper. Thank you for your attention. Now I go back to our generous the moderator for the conference, so that for question and answer session. Thank you.
Mr. Sahid.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Sahid, as we know that you have 2 papers, so
so should I go one by one, like the question and answer for this first, and then I can go question and answer for the second one? Is that okay? In that way, I think I won't confuse, and the audiences won't confuse as well.
Okay. And now, thank you. Now we'll be moved to the question and answer session. Maybe any question for our brother presenter?
Yeah, feel free, please, brothers. Everyone, feel free to have the questions. I'll be glad to, answer all the questions. Thank you for your patience, and I appreciate that.
Okay. There's no question. Okay. And now, Mr. Sahid, do you want to present your paper? Or
yeah,
after...
I can present the second paper. If there is any other person, if I can get a break, then I'll be very thankful.
Okay, we will be the next.
Any other paper? Is there any other paper which any other person?
We have another people for the other presenter. Okay.
Okay, then I think I'll go after that. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sahid. Maybe after the other presenter, you will be presenter for the next paper.
That. Definitely, I'll be presenting after this.
Okay.
Thank you.
And now, because there is no question, we will move to the next presenter. Will be delivered for our brother from Sekolah Tinggi Teknologi Bandung and Mulia University. In this case, will be represents Mr. Jack Rusdi. Mr. Jack Rusdi, are you attend the meeting?
Yes, I'm attending this meeting.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jack. And now, the next presenting will be delivered for from our brother Jack Rusdi from Sekolah Tinggi Teknologi Bandung and team from Mulia University by the title International Tourist Behavior on Mobile Smartphone Usage. Mr. Jack Rusdi, stage is yours.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Rizky. Okay, researchers, I'm glad to be with you in this conference today. In this conference, we'll present about our research in an international tourist behavior on mobile smartphone usage. This is a collaboration research that we do together between Nur Azman Abu from University Teknikal Malaysia Melaka, and Sajira Salam also. And then Harsha Gursdevi, Ricky Hardy, and Daniel Graha. Ricky Hardy from University, and Daniel Graha from ASITA, Indonesian Association on Tourism in Indonesia. Mobile devices have and consume significant aspect of people's daily life. Understanding the tourist behavior is considered an essential element to success the development in the tourism. An international tourist no longer relies solely on a tourism agency to determine their travel plan. This paper, our paper discuss about the specific behavior of international tourists related to their interaction with mobile device. Methods that we use in this research are questionnaire and literature study. Result of this research are media are being used in determining travel plan, mainly how long mobile devices are being used, the social media chosen, and the types of activities involved in the using these devices. This research can be significant based on embarking on a potent strategy in the tourism industry. Tourist travel activities grow continuously. Tourism contributes 10.4% of the gross domestic product in the world. There are 8.8 trillion US dollar generated through the tourism sector in 2018 alone. During the 2018, there have been 1.3 million international tourists from various countries. Tourism has to contribute a significant impact to the world economy. The sector creates jobs, drives export value, and property between countries. The better fit into information need investigation, the behavior of international tourists has been done and focusing on the following. Identify factors that influence the tourist decision in choosing a tourist destination. Now, the time used related to the use of smartphone for the tourists when traveling. Now, how tourists are connected to the internet when traveling, and understanding the social media used by the tourists when traveling. Identify tourist activities related to the smartphone used when traveling. The method that we use in this research, we have three stages. The first, preparation, execution, and then review. Identification of information need we do in the preparation, and then we do the classification of the tourist type and the number of target participants. Make a questionnaire, guide form, and then data obtaining strategy. In the execution stage, we do this approach to the tourist, the process of filling in the form, collection of the result, and selection of collected data and filling processes. And the last stage is converting manual data to electronic data, data grouping, and make a report of the research. This questionnaire involved 306 tourists who were invited to fill the questionnaire. 4 data rejected, 1 because of the privacy, 3 incomplete data. Participants of this research, 202 questionnaires were used in this research, and the tourists come from 43 countries in the world. The research we do in Bandung, Indonesia. In this research, we make the topic of several parts. The first about the demographic of the tourists, source of information for traveling planning, internet connection while traveling, smartphone usage while traveling, and then the social media usage and smartphone application usage while traveling. The finding of the result we saw in this picture that here the most significant use of the tourists while traveling is social media, and then recommendation, and then based on the online advertising. This is the use when planning of a trip. And then how about the way tourists access the internet via smartphone? most of the tourists use the smartphone in the hotel, and then after that, in the local operator, they use the internet and then using rooming, restaurant, and then the tourist destination itself about 6.62% of the tourists. The tourists, how long the tourists use the smartphone in daily while they're traveling? Most significant used by the tourists from the Philippines. They use the smartphone active and while they're traveling about 10 hours, more than 10 hours in a day. And then Malaysia, New Zealand, Germany, US, and the other country as shown in this chart. And how about the use of the social media by the tourists? Based on our finding through the questionnaire that they filled by the tourists, Instagram is the most popular use of them. And then Facebook and the other application as shown in this chart. And then how about the function of the smartphone for the tourists while they're traveling? Here, we found that the taking photos is one of the most significant use of the smartphone itself. And then they use the pictures and uses of the telephone, media posting, how to find the restaurant and share photos, and the others, as shown in this chart. Researchers, that's what we find in this our research, that and the others, information access has become an integral part of daily life, and international information consumption by tourists via smartphone has expanded considerably in the presence of a mobile network. Usually, a tourist will utilize and depends highly on their camera facilities, logistic map, and social media available on his or in their mobile device. Consequently, international tourists have embarked a new outlook and behavioral dependence on mobile technology. Considering these new behaviors and dependence of personal smartphone at their fingertips, the relevant of stakeholders in the tourism industry should develop and build new approach and business strategy through advanced technology to gain a competitive advantage in a global tourist market. This research has been carried out in Bandung, Indonesia. Different research can occur for analysis in other areas. For this reason, tourist behavior in the location need to be done, or even develop research into tourist behavior to the aspect related to the technology. This is our reference. Okay, researchers and this in this conference, thanks for the time you're giving us to present our research here, and we have the contribute for all and also in the tourism and technology in the world. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, thank you, Mr. Rusdi, for nice presentations. And now we will move for the question and answer sessions. Maybe there is several participants will be deliver the questions, please. Any question? Maybe you can raise your hand or sign the chat room. Or you can directly giving the question. Okay, there is no question. Okay, I think there is no questions for these sessions. Thank you very much for Mr. Jack Rusdi for the nice presentations. And now we will be moved to the next presentations from our brother from University Technical Malaysia Melaka. In this case, will be represents Kalimantan Al-Hakimi. Mr. Kalimantan Al-Hakimi, are you ready? Oh, Miss. Okay, sorry. Miss Kalimantan.
Yes, sure. I'm ready now.
Okay, good. Okay, I think you are. Okay, thank you.
So can I start
Ms.
my
Halimantan
presenting?
Al-Hakimi, sorry?
Hello?
Okay. Okay. Mr. Mrs. Halimantan Al-Hakimi from Technical Malaysia, University
You
Technical
guys can hear
Malaysia.
me? Anyone can respond?
Yes, I can hear. I can hear you.
Okay,
Is it
thank
clear?
you so much.
Okay,
Okay,
good.
hello everyone. I'm Halimatun. Okay, from the University Technical Malaysia Malacca. Okay, nice to meet you all of you. Okay, can we start my presentation now, all right?
Okay, good.
Okay.
Stage is yours.
Of you here, okay, in this conference, Simatica 2021. Okay, so I'm going to present this research about the SSR index tool. That means the software security readiness index. Okay, that is the automated tools, all right, to measure the software security readiness index for the remote working, especially in the COVID-19 pandemic. So I believe that all of us have facing the COVID-19 now, and it's very critical for us to ensure the security of the software, especially for us who are working for the remote working now, okay? So basically, Professor Dr. Masila is my supervision. Okay, he supervised and he is actually his title for my PhD. All right, okay. All right, the table of contents for this presentation, first thing I will give the introductions, okay, for the software requirements, and after that what the backgrounds and motivations, and I will display to all of you the readiness models and also the tools and usage example. Okay, for your informations, okay, result from the COVID-19 pandemics, all right, is require mankind practices, okay, distancing, and also company, governments, also for the private governments. So they don't have any options. So they have to send all the employees. So we have to send all the employees to the worker home, okay, and also practice the remote working. Okay, what happened once we go to home and do all the practices at home, I believe we do some research. I believe for the security of the software is very, very, how to say, is very, very dangerous, because we bring all the documents to our house and we have to use the company access or any software from the company at home. So it's very, how to say, it's very challenging to the company. And I believe some information the third party can get from the company, all right, from their software or from their information system. Okay, all right. And then, in very limited guidance, workers are required to work remotely by utilize the various software and facilitate by internet. Yes, exactly. It's very limited. For me, also, I'm working in the public university. And also the university also don't have the proper guideline how the employee going to using these software at home, how to ensure that all the information in the software will not get the third party cannot get the information. All right, so once it happen, okay, limited guidance and RDP, so it will increase dependence on the cyber space, open up the organization to become highly vulnerable to the cyber threats, and which may affect their company performance and also their privacy and confidential information because of the highly vulnerable to the cyber threats and crimes. Okay. All right. So, what the background and motivation of this study? Okay, the first thing is due to underfunding of the software security altogether in the company or in the employee, and then working from home can end up
just as bad as the worst with the employee using their own unsecure networks. Why we say unsecure network? Because last time in the company, we using their internal networks. So it's very safe if we using using the internal networks, okay, in that the company provided. But now we have to using the outsource from the networks, okay, not in the building networks. So it very unsecure networks, okay, to conduct critical works, process, handle sensitive data of the company. Okay, and second is ensuring the awareness among the workers and they are compliant with the software security. Why working remotely is still questionable. Okay, the compliance with the software security, I believe, still questionable because it's like new for us because of the pandemic. Everyone have to work from home. I believe that it's very questionable and expose them to the several security threats. Okay. And then the third is, all right, the security policy is too restrictive, taking the aspect of the software security. Okay, I believe that some of the government or some of the company, maybe in Indonesia, maybe in Malaysia, they have the security policy. Okay, but however, okay, especially in Malaysia, we identified that we have that policy, but however cannot cater, not constrained in the software security readiness. Some of they are more concerned on the infrastructure and infrastructure of the security in the company. Okay. And four is many of the study, networks and technology readiness focus solely on the technology aspect. Okay. They have been management and human aspect, all right, to build the complete picture of the organization software readiness. All right. So therefore, all right, this is the problem that we get, okay, from the previous study and also from the current study. Okay. All right. So in order to solve this matter, that's why we propose a tool, software security readiness tools, to measure, all right, to measure the level of the readiness of the company on the software security especially during the pandemic. Okay, therefore, we develop a new readiness model, okay, for the software security readiness model. Okay, all right. So in this model, it included, all right, three aspects or three constructs. First is the individuals, organizations, and technology. Okay, to see what the affected on the software security readiness model. So we already conducted survey with the public organization, with the employee and other persons. Okay, in the employee to identify what the actually contribute to the readiness model. Either this model is the confirm that affected to the software security, or we have the other factors that contribute to the software security readiness. So that's mean now we have focused based on the system, based on the data review. So we identify the major factors to the software security readiness. The first is the individuals, organizations, and technology. All right. Therefore, based on this module, we develop, okay, a tool, okay, in order to help. The tool is called automated tool, so we can calculate, we can make calculation, we can calculate by automated how the level of the readiness, software security readiness in the company. Okay, so this is the tool that we developed. Okay, we already do some research on the calculation. Okay, on the security calculations, how to say, template or index. Mostly of the study they are doing the manually. So the employee or the person or company, they're using the traditional way. They have the form, so the staff or the company have to fill in the form about their readiness or about their perspective about the security and knowledge in security. So we come up with the automated tools. So at the same time, we help to gather all the information over there, and I think it's more easier After this, to calculate the readiness level of the software security in the company. So what you have the function of the security readiness in that tool. Okay, the first thing the customer the employee have to do is the log in. Okay, in this page. Okay, this the at the back end of the system, the employee or company have to enter enter the staff ID and other things. So the employee have to, after that employee can access the system. So just key in their student their employee ID and also the password. Okay, after that, in the first page, they can see the overall what is the information or what is the explanation, what the means of the software security readiness in that. So they can, here we will display to them how to use this one, how is the function, okay, and then how to key in everyone. So every information was here at the home page and instruction process to use this system. Okay, so here is the checklist board. Okay, I believe that a lot of the research done before is they are doing it manually. They don't have the automatically. Okay, now we come up with the automatically so the company can know how the readiness of employee on using the software security readiness. Okay, and using the software system in the company. Alright, so what they can do is they just go through and they have to answer by themselves what the policy existing in the company, and they just tick yes or no or partially understand. Okay, after that, after they complete everything of the information here, everything on the checklist board, and automatically we display the information and also display the result. Alright, they display the result and the level of the security readiness model. So we can see that how many percentage for the individual, how many percentage for the organization, and how many percentage the technology in their company. So we can see overall is, okay, the readiness index is 56.4 to 9. So that means the level of the readiness index is medium. So it's very important to company. Why they are very important to the company have this readiness this tool? Because the company can plan what they're going to do in the future. Maybe they can conduct the training for the security, or maybe they can conduct other things for the better to make sure that their employee understand the security system or the software system in the company, especially when they bring all the works to the remote working area. Okay, all right. So as a conclusion for this research, so actually intention to develop this tool, okay, actually to have the organization to calculate and measure the readiness level of their employee using the software security system. Alright, and second, employee learning and development program, which the employee attend periodically, and where they can continuously evaluate by measuring. That is still now they have already achieved the high level of the readiness, so maybe company no need to provide any training, the security training and other things. Okay, so for the future work of this research, okay, for this work, okay, alright, for the future, actually we want to conduct the usability test, okay, to analyze this system and get the expectation and need to get feedback from the software engineering, how the function or from the security policy, okay, how to get the information, how to ensure that this system will working very well and functional and easy to use. Okay, I think that's all presentation, okay, about my tools. Okay, I hope if you want have any question, you can ask in the chat box. All right, thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Ms. Halimatan Al-Hakimi.
Yes, exactly.
And now we will move to the question and answer sessions. Maybe there are some of presenter will be delivering the questions.
Yes, Mr. Rizky. Yes.
Yep, time is yours,
Hello.
Mr. Wibi.
Yes.
Yes, okay. Miss Halimatun Sadia.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Thank you for your presentation. Okay,
Yeah,
correct me if
thank
I'm
you.
wrong. Your research is very, very interesting because maybe, yes, that's we need for now in the pandemic, yeah, to
Yeah,
know
exactly.
every company ready or not to work from home. But
Yeah, exactly.
correct me if I'm wrong. The best
Okay.
is an security aspect. How about the
Yeah.
job type? The job type, I mean, is
Uh-huh.
all of the job type can bring to home. Not about
Yes.
security, but not all the type of job that someone have to do in the
Can bring
office
to.
can bring to home. How about that?
All right. For my maybe I think it's actually that question is out from my topic actually, but actually if the I believe the problem is now not every the document we can bring to the home, you know, and then
Yes, okay.
it's very yes, it's very terrible because it's very private and confidential. That's why the policy for the ensure that the system no the policies for the work from home must to be enhanced, how to must be concrete, so that the employee can understand which the document can bring back to home or which document have to stay at the office. That's why. Maybe I believe not all the type of the work can we do at home. At least some of the work we have to still do at the office, especially for the administrative, especially for the document like any project that thing have to store or have to keep in the office. Not all the type of the work can do at the home.
Okay, thank you.
But however, I think maybe this big company is very difficult. If the education, I think we can bring everything to at home. That's my experience. Yes.
Yes. Okay, okay, clear.
All right.
Thank you, Miss Halimatun.
Yes.
Thank you, Miss Halima and Mr. Yusuf Wibisono for
Yes.
the answer the questions. And now we will be moved to the next presentations. In this moment, will be represents from our sister from Petra Christian University, Miss Lily Puspa Dewi. Are you attend the meeting?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Miss Lily Puspadewi from Petra Christian University by the title Utilizations of the Agora Video Broadcasting Library to support remote live streaming. Miss Lily Puspadewi, stage is yours.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. It is wonderful to see all of you in this special event. Please let me share the screen with you. Okay, can you look at my screen now, Mr. Rizky? Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay,
We
thank
can
you.
see.
Okay, at the first, I would like to show the title of my sharing today. The title is Utilization of the Agora Video Broadcasting Library to Support Remote Live Streaming. Before this, my name is Lily Puspadewi. I do this research with my partner. Our teams are Mr. Agustinus Nur Cahyana, and then Mr. Justinus Anjarwirawan, and Mr. Nico Kufron. First, we will talk about the background of the research. In this daily life, people around the world have started and spent their valuable time to watch live streaming video as the part of their daily activities. People like to communicate with others in real time through video technologies, such as with live streaming, which live streaming no longer limit their personal connection, help the robustness of long distance view by enabling the viewer to see what would normally be seen if on site. It describes the real-time situation in video mode to fulfill particular information. Live streaming refers to continuous broadcasts that are carried out live or in real time. Into the modern customer in enterprise or organization, enterprise can take advantage this technology to post their informative video as a promotion to stay at the top of the market. Live streaming can make major impact and make people feel different experience compared with other communication channel such as email or audio or texting. The visual can create an instant connection among people. Video using live streaming convey the information to people more efficient and effectively. Live streaming also convinces audience to see what is happening now, although they are not on site with you. The audience feel like they are taking part in more genuine engagements. Live streaming content can be exciting to watch as they are not aware what would happen in your live video. Based on the advantages and phenomenon, live streaming penetration in our daily life is getting deeper with time, especially in pandemic era. In this case, minimal capture delay is important. So in this research, we analyze the limitation of mobile-based live streaming applications such as delay, frame per second, and resolution, and we choose Agora IO as a broadcasting framework. Then this is the workflow of our research. The first step, we do capturing good quality video toward ensuring a smooth live streaming workflow. So the source must be a good quality video. And then some encoder have abilities to make up the missing pieces of information in raw video, but it is better to have a good quality input or video at the start to smoothen the workflow. Good quality streaming can be achieved by optimizing the three factors of utmost importance for live streaming, which are the camera, lighting, and audio. We do not need to buy a high-end camera. All we need is decent camera and well-lighted source. Some camera have features to change the setting to get the desired output as far as color coding is concerned. Finally, audio and microphone to check microphone time, and against to reduce the background noise and to make audience to hear source loud and clear. And then the next step is encoder. Encoder is a must for live streaming. Encoder can be hardware or software, work from compressing video and audio in real time. And then after encoding, the next step is converting the video into multiple display qualities for adaptive streaming. Package the stream into adaptive bitrate streaming protocol. In this time, we use CDN, Content Delivery Network. CDN helps live streaming service to publish multimedia faster to audience around the globe. When the audience try to request the streaming video from CDN, the server the closest server to the audience attempt to deliver it because it is already as a media kits, or in the case it doesn't have the keys, it will send a request to another server that does. In this way, CDN streamline delivery the content by streaming the video from local server rather than setting them directly from origin server each time. Yeah. Then the methodology, the research analyze the limitation live streaming application. We use 3 specification of smartphone to conduct the testing. We do not mention the brand, but we give the specification of the smartphone we use in this research. There are three smartphone. First is operating system is FunTouch OS. Second, FunTouch OS with different front camera resolution and internal memory specification, and then the third with operating system Realme UI RMX 1922. And then from the system architecture, we arrange like this. We can explain like number 1, we set the role of the client as a host or audience. And then host will publish the video to the channel and the audience join the channel. Number 2, get a token from server and then join the channel need a token as credential that authenticate a host or audience. And then join the channel and then publish and subscribe. Host can publish video after join a channel. Yeah. For the first step, when they set the client role as host or as audience, we use Agora Video SDK. And then this is the result and discussion. We take several experience here, and we list here in this table. This part reflect the finding how live streaming performance related to the limitation of live streaming. The testing scenarios, we use MP4 bitrate 256 kbps, which is captured by webcam. We use webcam with network background traffic 50 Mbps, 75 Mbps, and 100 Mbps. This table shows average delay of various devices for testing. And then the conclusion is real-time live streaming require a clear and smooth internet connection. We use 3 network traffic background, 3 scenario for network traffic background. And then network background traffic has important influence of the situation. Congestion point of the internet are serious barrier in the real-time performance live streaming. The bottlenecks is that make delay is video and audio multimedia is random or blurry and blurry. Hardware specification, especially memory, internal memory of the smartphone, are also influence the smoothness of live streaming. Okay, this is our references. And then thank you for the time, Mr. Rizky. I give back the stage to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lily Puspa. Yeah. And now we will move to the next we will move to the question and answer session. Sorry, maybe there is some participants will be delivering the question. Any question for the presentations? Any question? Okay, I think there is no question, Ms. Lily Puspa. And now we will move to the next presentations. Will be presents Mr. Agustinus Nur Cahyana. Mr. Agustinus, are you attend the meeting? Are you ready? Hello? Mr.
Yes,
Agustinus?
yes, yes.
Okay, you will be
Hello.
present your presentations.
Okay, Mr.
Good.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, and now the next presentation will be presents to Mr. Agus Nur Cahyana from same with the previous presentations from Petra Christian University by the title Remote DVR Driving Application to Help Monitor Vehicle Speed Using the Android Platform. Mr. Agustinus, stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rizky. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Let me share my screen. Okay. Yeah, I would like to present our research, which the title is Remote DVR Driving Application to Help Monitor Vehicle Speed Using the Android Platform. My name is Agustinus and my partner is Lili Puspadewi, Justinus Anjarwirawan, and Nico Gurban. We are from Petra Christian University. I will continue the research from Miss Lili. At the first time, where interconnection are increasingly being used to support daily life. They are also widely used to monitor events. So it's separable from every incident that occurs in transportation facilities, including motorbike or car, and to be able to monitor every incident that occurs when using a vehicle. So we would like to apply this study to apply an Android-based DVR application that is equipped with GPS, speedometer, and live streaming. So it is hoped with this application, a user can record videos and take photos accompanied by the location and description of its incident. Okay, background, vehicle now have become an important need for human to carry out daily activities. So a problem arises when so many drivers often ignore road rules such as the speed limit and traffic signs, limitation when using DVR devices, because now there is so many DVR camera which is used in vehicle, but the difficulty of conducting the real-time monitoring due to limited access to DVRs that are currently what is sold in the market. So the limitation that most complain about was the difficulty in supervising speed of the vehicle from the supervised driver, and in this case we use it maybe a child or a driver on good transport services. Okay, and then by utilizing DVR technology, so many parents can monitor the speed of vehicle driven by their child or teenagers while on the highway. So considering the sophistication of current cell phone cameras, which are generally of good quality and with GPS and data access feature, and the idea of using a cell phone as a device is one of the most suitable alternatives to overcome the limitation of car DVR. So with this streaming feature and being able to record along the way and can be accessed by more than one person, it is possible, for example, parent to supervise their child, or transportation business owner can also put direct supervision their driver. And here is the system driver for the system. Start from input channel name, and then we can create channel. So, and then after that, we can input role, if it is broadcaster or audience or DVR only recording. And the implementation, for example, in this application, we try to using a motorcycle or car, and we can join by using the room channel name. Okay, here's the result. From many resolution, we can make the conclusion that information is good if the resolution is a little bit higher, for example, in 60 times 720 or 1280 times to 720. But with a little bit lower, we can say that the information is moderate. It means that the picture is not clear enough. Okay, the conclusion of this application, the application can display video well at a high resolution, and by utilizing Agora.io, the application can be accessed together by utilizing the channel. Okay, thank you very much. Get back stage to Mr. Rizky.
All right, thank you very much for the presentation, Mr. Agustinus. I think your paper is, wow, it's a very great title. Okay, and now we will move to the question and answer sessions. Maybe participants here will be delivering the questions, please.
Mr. Agus, can I ask you the question?
Okay.
Sorry. Yes, yes.
Is it possible to make it into mass production for these devices? It is expensive or not?
Yes, it is. It is possible because it's only use Android application, Android devices. If you have an Android devices, you can get this application, and then you can try to running this application. Thank you.
So it is free, yeah, for the application itself. Okay,
yes.
Thank you. I see.
Waiting for available in Play Store.
I see. I wait for it. Thank you.
And now, any questions for the second questions? We still have a time for these presentations. Enough? There's no questions again? Okay, and now we will be moved to the next presentations. In these sessions, will be presents for our sister, Miss Yuli Asbar. Miss Yuli Asbar, are you ready? Miss Yuli?
Okay, I am ready.
You ready? Okay.
Yes.
Miss Yuli Asbar. Man or woman? Miss Yuli.
Okay, man.
Okay. Okay, good. Mr. Yuli Asbar from University
from
of
Aceh.
University of Malikusaleh, Malaysia. By
University
the title
of Malikusaleh.
Okay, good. By the title, Analysis of the Applications of the Clustering Data Mining Model in the Selection of the Best Study Program based on students' interest at the University of Aceh. Oh, this is from Aceh. I'm sorry.
From Aceh.
Thank you.
Okay.
Sorry, Mr. Yuli. Okay. Mr. Yuli Asbar, stage is yours.
Okay, good afternoon. Thank you for moderator. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Yuli Asbar and title analysis of the application clustering data mining model in the selection of the best study program interest at the University of Aceh. Okay, bibliography. I'm Mutamimunullah, Kemal, REKTOR, S1L, University Islam Indonesia, S1 University Gajah Mada. Okay, abstracts. The limited student capacity at State University (STN) Aceh has provided opportunities for private universities in Aceh to organize higher education. This provides opportunity for universities institutes, colleagues, academic, and polymaker, judging from the phenomena, the interest of students applying to private university in Aceh. The main problem in the development of private universities in Aceh is that private universities still depend of large number of students who have success in forming the student body of private universities. This is possible the private universities that are not able to meet the minimum study body will find to develop more. Therefore, a model is needs to make a strategy in student interest in the interest of the study major study program and things which private university have the most interest so that other private university can prepare the same strategy for new student interest. The model used in conjoint analysis is based on consumer subjectivity from various combination of function provided. In the study, conjoint analysis was used to determine the preference of final year students in choosing the best campus according to the interest. The result of research on 53 respondents, the choice of factor or attribute that most influence the preference for campus selection based of the value important in the study campus, akreditasi, DR.MASSILA 3%, dan campus status 22%, within free 12%, and campus location 7%, alumni assessment 6,13%, campus formation 5%, quality lecture 5%, and the last 4%. Definition: the result of flowchart. What a star for the sign result, choose attribute and level attributes, and questionnaire with scala linkers, with further analysis conjoining, result, interpretasi, research, and conclusion. Okay, assessment result for respondent and campus or negeri or swasta. Responder lagi location campus, tanir, politics, doesn't, and biaya is 1, 2, and negeri and 12 university and respondent status negeri and agregasi unggul, sangat baik, dan baik, prestasi good. And analysis of the relative importance of factor, status kampus, and nilai kepentingan relatif adalah 12%, aggregate kampus 30%, location kampus and 7%, tenaga pengajar and 4%, qualified dosen and 5%, kuliah 12%, prestasi alumni 6%, and promotion campus 5%. Conclusion: from the rest of the 53 respondents and choose accreditation, campus status, tuition fees, location campus, alumni assessment, dan promotion, and quality lecture, and the teaching staff 40%. The combination of attribute and attribute level of 16 stimuli that are considered important that influence students in choosing campus in Aceh include campus accreditation which are excellent grades, creative quality of lecture, and finally selected teaching staff who have been within their country. The result of the combination with the common clustering method with result from 3 major and 12 campus in Aceh which have major in information system, information engineering, and computer science. There are several favorite campus of the choose. Okay, thank you.
Mr. Yuli Asbar from
of
Malaysia, and now we will move to the question and answer sessions. Maybe there are presenter will be delivering the questions, please. Any question or suggestions or addition about the presentation?
Any question?
Any questions? Enough? Okay, I think there is no questions, Mr. Yuli Asbar. And now I think we will move to the next presentations. In this moment will be represents from our brother from Brunei Darussalam, Mr. Shaun, for the second paper. Mr. Shaun, are you ready to present for the second paper, Mr. Shaun?
Yes, thank you. My name is actually Dr. Shahid Anjum. So the only, the Zoom that I'm using, it shows the Shaun.
Okay, I'm sorry, Mr. Shahid Anjum and
no
Mr. Shahid
I'm
Anjum.
ready for the presentation. Thank
Okay,
you.
good. Mr. Shahid Anjum from University Teknologi Brunei Darussalam, stage is yours.
Thank you. Okay,
Okay,
I'll
thank you.
upload my, I think you can see my PowerPoint slides now. Yeah, can you see my PowerPoint slides?
Is it clear?
Okay, very good. Thank you so much. Good afternoon once again, and thank you for your time in this late afternoon. My name is Dr. Shahid Anjum, and I'll be presenting this second paper. It's about the employee monitoring technology, productivity, privacy, and harassment. Auditing technology training and adoption in public administration. I will skip my introduction. I have already introduced myself. The only thing that I would like to introduce is the second author, and she's my PhD student. Currently, she's working. She's doing research on digital maturity in the government sector. Her name is Zahida Ismail. And this paper was her master, actually, paper from master that we brought it out together, and she completed master under my supervision as well. And these are the contents. These are for the common contents that we will follow, and this is in normal, usual table of contents. Now, introduction is employee monitoring technology is a technology that allows employer to monitor their employee activities, such as it can be CCTV or Termite, which is software. So it can be either software-related monitoring technology, or it can be external employee monitoring technology. In this research, we will study about EMT, which is a system that is installed in employees' computers with the purpose of monitoring employees' activities. So we won't consider those external EMT, rather we will focus more on the computer installed EMT, employee monitoring technology. Implementing employee monitoring technology can be used to reduce the unethical behavior at the workplace. And that was studied by 2013 by GRB, which is very true. I mean, unethical behavior is not strictly in the ethics sense, but it's in the work ethics sense, which means, employees using computer for their personal use, for their personal entertainment while at work. So those type of things are unethical work behavior. However, privacy infringement problem will arise where privacy has been invaded because you're monitoring either externally via cameras or through the software. Although many years ago it has been declared as illegal to monitor without permission the mouse clicks, but still employee monitoring technology can also, invade the privacy. And then it's important to ensure that employees have a clear understanding about the usage benefits of the EMT by providing them the privacy policy and appropriate training as well. And it's also important to ensure that employees have this is similar one. Now, technology adoption model is what we are using as a research tool in this particular study. And the TAM technology acceptance model is used to conceptualize and model the factors which influence the adoption of new technology in order to measure the usage behavior of the users. So how likely users they're willing to use the technology. With a brief literature review, first of all, capturing employees' productivity and reviewing employees' communication via email and internet is what are the purposes of EMT. And it also identifies employees' strengths and weaknesses. Also, it can improve the organization's performance by making the employees more accountable. There are several features of electronic employee monitoring technology. First one is it can track the logistics. So logistic tracking can be one of keystrokes can be monitored. As I mentioned, it has been declared illegal without the permission, even of the employees. You need to tell them. And the record time, during online, that can be, like how many hours they are working. So different job requirements have different type of KPIs. So depending on the KPI, you can also record the time. So it can work as a punch card as well. View computer screen in real time. So that is similar to the keystrokes. Attendance, of course, those key punching cards. And the time taken to finish tasks, time taken for break time. So you can monitor all those and also mouse tracking as mentioned before. But there are a lot of issues with EMT, which are employees may go against the idea of them being monitored at the workplace. So in this case, instead of enhancing productivity, it can, work the other way around. It can reduce the productivity of the organization. Employees will be feeling stress, injustice, and dissatisfaction. Of course, continuous monitoring, nobody feels comfortable with that. And some employees are more sensitive, some are less. But of course, there is a stress when you are being monitored and if you are a bit conscious as well that you are being monitored. And then privacy infringement can also be an issue. Now, the fraudulent behavior is the unethical behavior by dishonest individuals to obtain benefits in an unacceptable way. And EMT enables organizations to detect any unusual activity at an early stage to avoid fraud. So thus, they reduce the risk for the organization. So other than the enhancing productivity, risk reduction from fraud is one of those benefits as well. And the EMT is a privacy policy and the training, several recommendations before implementing EMT includes, these are, very old study in 2002 by Aris. It says identifying purpose of monitoring, you need to, put that in privacy policy and also in training consent from the employees, providing privacy policy, informing how and when will the employees be monitored. And then EMT and privacy policy. Privacy policy is a document where it describes many important things, which includes what type of data is being collected and to which third party will the data be shared. As we know, like right now, there are a lot of data related because all the, there are a lot of e-business companies or online companies collecting a lot of data, and there are already, European Union has already passed privacy law. In US, the California state has already passed, compliance to the privacy law. So third party, of course, you need to, like declare that to which third party you will be sharing that data. And previous study have proven that privacy policy is very significant to influence users to use an application. In 2015, it has been studied by Castrano and Duchen, and they have, like found that privacy policy, if it is there, it gives peace of mind to the people, to, to the employees to use new technology. Training also helps to understand benefits, and also just said training is methodology that we are applying on this in this study is, we want to study the consumer's behavior, intention to use, or study the interest, consumer's interest and perception of new technology. That is the purpose of TAM, which was GUBERNUR et al. They have discussed that in 2013. And our empirical model has 8 components. One is privacy policy. Second is the training, understanding of employee monitoring technology by employees. Perceived usefulness, which is conventional TAM model variable factor. Ease of use of technology. And subjective norms, which are, who influence the people to adopt a technology. It can be family influence, it can be department level influence at the, your organization level. But it can also be a government, campaign to motivate the individuals to adopt a new technology, especially at the government institution. Intention to use can also, be used for the increasing productivity, increase confidence, and decrease unnecessary harassment. And of course, user behavior is determined by these factors. Empirical model, which we have found is relevant in our data, is that privacy policies are influencing the ease of use and also the understanding of EMT by the employees. Training does not contribute too much to the understanding. Rather, it it's very strange, but it influences the ease of use of the technology, and understanding of EMT also influence the ease of use. And both this ease of use then impact the perceived usefulness, and along with subjective norm, which means the influences of your nears and peers and the peers, it determines the intention of use, and then user behavior. Now we have collected data for the government employees in Brunei Darussalam. As you may know that in Brunei Darussalam, government is the one major employer. Okay. So almost, majority of people that work for government, government is very, influential. And we have collected 149 responses. There were few responses rejected because of inconsistency captured either by the control questions or by the missing data. SPS software has been used in contrast to the previous study where we used the Adanko for partial least square. Here we are using linear regression. So it's not the partial least square in this study, it's linear regression and reliability test by Cronbach's help. Results and discussion. Cronbach's help was sufficiently high, more than 0.7 for all that, there were several linear regressions which have been estimated based on the model-based hypothesized relations, as we have already shown in the model. And I think just to save the time, I won't go into details. These are simple regressions with data over here, and this is the R-square. So R-square, for this survey data, if it is more than 1, yeah, it should be more, few are more than even 0.45, 0.8, So there are different types, but even 0.16, 4 is acceptable for survey-related data because it's not a time series where, it should be around 0.8 or 0.9. So I'll skip these because these are simple betas. You can all scroll through these betas. It's, simply tells us how much influence one particular, the independent variable is causing for the dependent variable. So I'll move to the results and discussions. We have found that intention to use, of course, that is a dependent variable, subjective norm as independent variable. In this case, the family and the organization didn't show up as the significant one. Rather, government influencer, government has shown up as a major influencer to affect the employees' behavior. That makes sense because in a smaller country with a heavy government, public administration related departments, it makes sense that government has more influence. For government influence is found statistically significant, other than the other two are not. In the linear regression of user behavior as dependent variable and intention to use, results have shown that ITU3, and as we can go back over here, and it tells us that ITU3 is our decreased unnecessary harassment. So basically, our study have found that the harassment, which is ITU3, harassment is having positive impact towards the user behavior, and it's also statistically significant. While the other two, variables which we have used for this productivity and the profitability, they are not, they are not significant for the intention to use for EMP. And the reason we can understand because government employees, they are less motivated. There's no profitability, and also the productivity is not one of those key features of the government employees. Rather, they they go by the books and work for a time, and their KPIs are different than the profitability or the productivity related. And even productivity KPIs, they are not monetized in dollar terms. So there are different metrics that can be used to measure that. In short, the employees, they are willing to adopt the EMT because it will reduce unnecessary workplace harassment. Okay, thank you. I'll just wind it up. Thank you so much. Unnecessary harassment is the key dimension which positively affecting. And limitations of this study, there are few number of respondents can be increased, although 147 number of government employees is quite a good sample. Another thing is we could have used the partial least square in order to incorporate more mediating or moderating effects. Even testing for non-linear relationships could have been a possibility which we didn't go through. And that is the conclusion is government considered as highly legitimate in influencing the behavior of employees in adopting technology. Employees are willing to adopt EMT because it decreases the unnecessary workplace harassment. Thank you so much for your attention, and I'm looking forward to good questions.
Thank you very much for Mr. Sahid from
Thank you very much.
University Technology of Brunei Darussalam. And now we will move to the question and answer sessions. Maybe there are participants will be referring the questions, please. Any questions or suggestion? There is no questions?
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
No. Okay, thank you, Mr. Sahid, for the nice presentations. And I think...
Thank you very much as well for accommodating, actually, because I wasn't ready, Thank you. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Mr. Sahid. Thank you very much for the sense the paper. I think you have a complete two paper for our international seminar events. And now I think this is the last of presentations from our brother. And now before I pronounce the winner or the best of the top of paper in this international event, I would like all of the participants turn on the camera. We will take a picture before we close our sessions. Please, for all participants, turn on your camera. We will take a picture. Now, we will take the picture. 1, 2, 3. Once again, please smile. 1, 2, 3. And now follow me, please raise your hand to give this sign. This sign, how? Yeah, okay, good. All participants, please. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you very much for all participants and all the guardians of international seminar events today. And now I will announce the top paper of international of ICSINTESA 2021, and the best paper from from the first day until today. For the third paper is Muhammad Faisal Masdianto. This is the top paper, the third top paper, sorry. And the second top paper is from Mr. Yusuf Wibisono by the title Design of Google Application-Based Help Desk Ticketing System at University Using Extreme Programming Approach. And the first winner for the best paper for our international seminar today will be delivering from University Pelita Harapan, from Oki Barus and Irvin Delano, by the title Designing and Implementation of Facial Detection System using You Only Look Once of Inverse Perspective Mapping. And now, I think, before we close, before we close the seminar today, I think on behalf of, finally, we have conduct until the end of international seminar event today from Mulia University of ICSINTESA 2021. On behalf of Mulia University, on behalf of committee and all participants and distinguished guys, thank you very much for the participations for today's. And now we will give some information from the committee. From the committee, please show the information. Okay, have you? And now there is some information from the committee. For the first one is, as you can see, after the presentations, time will be given until the 14th November 2021 for revise and complete the paper again. And if there is input from the questioner at the time presentation, could be consideration for the speaker in perfecting the paper. And the second of information from the committee, please check the paper again and adjust it according to the template. Then the final result sent in two formats, PDF and document. To email seminastika@universitasmulia.ac.id. And then the third information include active contact who can be contacted by the committee, such as the phone number based on website. And the last information is the committee will immediately contact the presenters when there is new information. And now I think that's all for our for nice international seminar virtual today's event. Thank you very much for the presentations, all of the participants. And now I will delivering to Master Ceremony today. Thank you very much for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much for Mrs. Mita and Mr. Rizky.
Terima kasih untuk pemandu atau moderator Ibu Mita dan Bapak Rizky.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, before we are closing of this seminar, we would like to invite to the stage Mr. Yusuf Wibisono, S.A. MTI, representing Mr. Dr. Agung Sakti Pribadi, SH.MH. Mr. Yusuf Wibisono, stage is yours.
Bapak Ibu hadirin yang kami hormati, sebelum kita bersama menutup seminar internasional dan nasional pada hari ini, kami mengundang Rektor Universitas Mulia Bapak Dr. Agung Sakti Pribadi, SH.MH, yang dalam kesempatan ini diwakili oleh Bapak Yusuf Wibisono, S.E. MTI, untuk menutup kegiatan seminar kita pada hari ini. Kepada yang terhormat Bapak Yusuf Wibisono, SMTI, disilakan.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin, wassalatu wassalamu ala asrofil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi washabihi ajma'in. Amma ba'd. In this closing session ceremony, I would like to express my highest gratitude and appreciation to all speakers, reviewers, editors, and all participants, international and national seminar, for their participation in this virtual conference event. I hope that from this event, we will get something new and could be developed according to their respective knowledge and competence. I also hope that from this event, could be deliver a good impression, contribution, and could establish closer institutional cooperation in the next future. I also delivering my pride and gratitude to the entire organizing committee who had given their best effort for this event, so that this event could be held well, smoothly, and according to expectations. That's all from me. See you at ICSINTESA and Seminastika in 2022 in different places and countries. By reciting Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin, the ICSINTESA and Seminastika 2021 International and National Virtual Conference held by Mulia University of Balikpapan, I declare that they are finished. Thank you very much and see you at more successfully event. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much for Mr. Yusuf Wibisono.
Terima kasih pada Bapak Yusuf Wibisono yang sudah menutup kegiatan seminar kita pada hari ini.
Finally, we have conducted until the end of this event. For the first until the last day, I would like to thank to all speaker and participant for the second International Conference of Science and Information Technology in Smart Administration or ICSINTESA and National Conference of Information Technology, Communication and Administration or Seminastika 2021.
Bapak Ibu hadirin yang kami hormati, akhirnya kita tiba di penghujung seminar atau acara kita pada hari ini yang telah dilaksanakan selama 2 hari, yaitu ICSINTESA dan Seminastika. Kami mengucapkan banyak terima kasih kepada Bapak Ibu yang sudah menjadi peserta maupun partisipan yang mengikuti kegiatan seminar kita selama 2 hari ini.
On behalf Mulia University of Balikpapan, on behalf of Conference of Committee and also to all attendees and distinguished guests.
Kami sekali lagi mengucapkan banyak terima kasih pada Universitas Mulia dan secara khusus untuk panitia dan juga seluruh kru yang bertugas di seminar kita pada hari ini.
We would like to say thank you very much for a nice attention of the conference. If any mistake that we make today, please apologize us.
Sekali lagi kami mengucapkan banyak terima kasih kepada seluruh peserta, Bapak Ibu hadirin sekalian yang sudah berkenan mengikuti selama 2 hari seminar kita hari ini. Apabila kami berdua dalam memandu kegiatan ini ada kesalahan, kami mohon maaf.
And see you in the next Success International and National Conference event on our Pride Campus Mulia University of Balikpapan. Thank you very much and have a nice day.
Akhirnya kami mengucapkan terima kasih sekali lagi. Sampai ketemu di seminar internasional gelaran Universitas Mulia yang ketiga di tahun 2022. Terima kasih banyak. Sampai ketemu dan berjumpa kembali. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.